Yeah, let's begin. Let's begin. First of all, experience points. Cut Veil. What are you buying?
I'm gonna need a minute, but I'm pretty much landlocked. I can only double down on things right now.
Wait, you weren't able to learn anything during the trip? We can.
Well, I would have wanted to learn Battle Tongue and read and write.
Well, we can retroactively, agree that you've learned something from the guys if you want, if they are willing to teach you, of course.
You guys want to teach me Battle Tongue and read write?
One of those things. One of those things.
Which would you rather know?
Read and write's gonna be more useful to learning stuff on my own if I can get a book.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, I can teach you read and write.
Okay.
Since I was forced to take it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times.
No, I mean it's important.
Yes, it is useful. It is a useful skill. Okay, so you have read and write Cut Veil. It's 100 points, and we can say that you've begun to learn Battle Tongue, but you've not yet mastered it. Okay.
Okay. Can I also double down in I was just looking at it. Concealment.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay.
You didn't have that before. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Oh no, I had it already, but like to get the bonus.
Oh, plus 10. Okay, yeah, sure, of course, no problem. Conrad, what about you?
I'm a ghost.
I was thinking I'm gonna take my last plus 5% agility.
Okay.
To get me up to 67.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. Since my armor sucks, I need to be able to dodge really well.
You only have leather, right?
I was able to afford a chainmail coif for my head, but otherwise, yeah, it's leather.
So remember
At least yeah.
Yeah, so remember that even with the coif, you have minus 10 to your agility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because every single, even the smallest piece of mail, gives you the penalty.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, that's why when you go chainmail, you go full chainmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go chainmail, you never go back.
You never go back. Luther, what about you? What are you buying?
All right, so in the same vein, I would like Cadvale to teach me secret signs.
Okay. Secret signs. Which secret signs?
Or was it Ranger Tongue? I can't remember what it's called.
He's gonna give you the Ranger Tongue, huh?
I have Scout. I have Secret Language Ranger. I have Secret Sign Scout and Secret Language Ranger, and I have Secrets.
That's the one. Secret Signs Scout.
Secret Signs.
I also have Secret Signs Ranger.
Just Scout.
Scout. Okay. So
okay,
okay. So Luther, you were taught Secret Sign Scout by Cut Veil. Yeah.
And then in line. So been doing this a bit, but I feel like I have both consumed quite a bit of alcohol and gotten kind of a natural at it.
Okay.
And B, I believe I've stitched up enough wounds successfully that I should be able to double down both.
Both? What both? Which both?
To get the plus 10 on consume alcohol and to get the plus 10 on heal.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Very good.
Michael,
yeah?
Can I double down in perception as well?
Yeah, of course. As long as you guys have points, you can buy those things.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't have to ask for stuff like perception stuff, or gossip or things like that. Only specialized skills which would normally take time.
Yeah.
You need to learn this. Likewise, you almost never need to learn any talents like very strong, very resilient stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay. So who's making notes today?
Me.
What, so who? who then?
I don't know, but it's not me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's Catvale. Okay. Yeah. Because I've heard Luther that you said me, and I was like, what? Okay, so it's not you. So in that case, it's Catvale. You have document already prepared in the handout section. I've also updated the map. I've decided to bring the map of Kislev. Yeah.
Did you get that from Gitzman's?
No, it's the official map from the Realm of the Ice Queen, made by Andy Lowe, the guy who makes all the official fantasy maps, Warhammer Fantasy. He was also the main developer for 4th edition. I think he's a cartographer by trade.
Yeah, well, his maps look cool.
Yeah, these maps are awesome. So because on the Empire map you see that it ends essentially at the border of Kislev, and I wanted to show the rest of the journey. You are the point here is the place where you've met the outcasts.
Okay.
Essentially, and you are traveling towards this direction, towards this destination. Sorry, this destination right here. Yeah. So you are once again. Once again, we return to your adventures, and you're currently in Kislev, in the western oblast, moving ever further north, past the river Linsk, towards the so-called Crags of Shargun. Remind me, did you know the name of the village, right? That you are supposed to reach. I recall that you were given it.
I was looking at the
Zhidovsk.
Sorry, it's in the chat.
Yeah,
Zhidovsk.
Yeah, and also probably in the notes, but I haven't read them yet.
Yeah. Along the way, you've met 4 men. Frank, the leader of the group, Rolf and Wensley, one tall and thin, and the other corpulent and silent. As you've learned along the way, Wensley's tongue has been removed, but you don't really know why. And the last, Ham, who stinks, and he really stinks. Like, he stinks so bad that compared to him, Luther, he smells pleasantly. Yeah, so that's just like.
Do you mind typing their names in the chat?
Yeah, like Ham's stench is so bad that even you, Luther, you can stand it.
I would say it'll make it more difficult to get girls, but it'll make it easier to let them die.
Yes. Well, I mean, especially since, for example, when you are traveling through the oblast, which even in late spring, is incredibly cold and just, and windy, you see that sometimes from under Ham's dirty, filthy ropes, maggots fall out.
God damn it.
Well, I mean, truth be told, Conrad and Cadveo, you saw similar things in the Crusade. People who were so dirty and so just in such a horrible condition that they were basically eaten alive by maggots, by parasites.
Since I've seen like Nurgly stuff at this point, like is this something I would think is chaos, or is it something I think he's just disgusting?
Well, you don't really know. It's just more. It's like he's disgusting. They all are. Remember that these men were with the Crusade to the very end, to the Zhidovsk. Then they've returned, and then they've once again turned around and moved towards the crags, because apparently there's some kind of bounty hunter or black-clad villain who is chasing them. So like I've said, Conrad and Cadveo, this isn't too strange for a Crusader of the Child. Just so you know. But of course you can think what you want. Yes, I'm just telling you guys. Luther, for you this is very strange. Because even...
I mean, for me, this is obviously some sort of dark power. This is some sort of zombie, I think.
Well, like I've said, all of these men, they look poorly, let's just say,
You don't have to be polite. They look like shit.
Yes.
At some point, I want to fall back and talk to Conrad privately.
Okay.
Too good for me, huh?
Well, no. It's just like we've been through.
No,
like,
I get it. Fuck you too. Go have fun.
So,
well, wait. Before you do that, sorry, Brian. Because are you going to do this like after how many days do you plan to do this? Because you are right now traveling with this man. Oh, by the way, if I recall correctly, it's like it takes like 2 weeks to reach the village, right? Because I was searching for it to remember, guys. I was searching for it last time, and I was like, oh, where's the exact info for how long you need to travel? Oh, here it is. Okay. If I recall correctly, I can be wrong.
Well, maybe I might as well just say it in front of everybody then. When we first meet, like that, perhaps we should follow, like closely behind, but not travel as a single group. Because if they're being pursued, it'd be better if they think there's less of us than there are. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Well,
we know nothing about the guy who's pursuing you, gentlemen. Does he travel with a lot of men?
No, he's traveling alone, says Frank. The man who basically they all wear filthy brown robes, and the one of them, Wendell, the man without the tongue, has a blue leather belt clinched around his waist. They're all incredibly thin and malnourished. It's clear, they are armed with just pitiful weapons. For example, the ham guy has rusty axe. Frank just carries a cudgel. The Rolf and Wensley, they each have a dagger. There's only the man in black, sir, says Frank. But he's a dangerous one. Although with brave warriors like you, traveling with us, I'm sure that he won't dare to attack. After all, it's clear that you can handle yourselves well.
We've gotten through a scrape or two. So out of character, I don't remember. None of us currently know who Nihilus is. Is that?
No.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Just curious.
No.
Several characters ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that would.
Well, I was just trying to remember if there was any kind of common thread somewhere through this that we would know. But yeah, that's too long.
Remember that even in Marienburg, Nihilus says that he's traveling to Bretonia to essentially tell them that he was way late and he was supposed to go after you, but he thought that he was supposed to go to Bretonia. So that's that was his last gift of sorts to you guys.
Right. Well, I mean, I do remember that he told us that if he ever saw us again, he would kill us. But
yes.
those characters are already dead. So
yeah. So that's nah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there are lots of bounty hunters, witch hunters in the Empire. The man who's chasing after them might very well be just some kind of crazy, lawmaker or something like that. Someone like that. You don't really know. Although they are very terrified when they are speaking of him. By the way, you see that.
Yeah.
It's not like this man, when they mention this mysterious black clad man, they are incredibly uneasy.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay. I've checked from the river.
Linsk.
Yeah. No, it's not from the river Linsk.
Well, I thought that's where we were.
Yes, I mean you've crossed River Linsk.
Okay.
That's where we've essentially met the runaways. It takes about like a week from this place to reach the crags. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that. And tell me, for like, how long do you want to travel with this man? If you just want to travel with them all the way, or you want to dump them at some point, it's up to you. But I'm asking because there might be some roles.
Well, Conrad personally doesn't have a problem. I mean, he's got his eye on them, especially the guy who's dropping maggots on the ground. But he doesn't have a problem traveling with them. We just
okay.
Well, I don't know if those guys do. Those guys speak battle tongue?
No, I don't think. Oh yeah, sorry. Ehrengrat River. Ehrengrat River is somewhere like here, and from here it's about a week travel, a week's brisk walk to reach the crags. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it took you a week to reach this place, and or yeah, I think even more than a week because I remember that we were rowing for that. But from here it's like a week. Okay, so if Conrad is cool with that, but what about Katveo and Luther?
No.
Okay, yeah, I thought that you were going to say that.
Here's my 2 cents. No, fuck that. Let's dump them.
We're saying this right in front of them, right?
Yeah.
Fuck these guys.
Yeah. Winsley, Hamwater, Framp, Rolf. I don't like you, and you should probably be dead.
Well, why are you saying something like that, sir? We are all servants of the child. We are all good Imperials. We are traveling to reach Sigmar Reborn. You see that this man, they basically just begin to beg you to not to leave them. Please, without you, this horrible man, he will kill us. He's a monster.
Sigmar's a good god and all. He's really good at that shit. But he's not really the kind that, helps out people that just beg for it all the time. You kind of got to work for it. And right now, you little shits have been running back and forth, not really sure on where you're going, wanting to be with the child, wanting to not be with the child, running from this black-clad man, running back south. I'm pretty sure Sigmar is not the god of cowards.
He's
got a point there.
But he's a god of
Why are
all.
you pursued?
But he's a god of all the Imperials, sir. He's god of the
He's
weak.
god of all good Imperials, and I'm pretty sure a good Imperial is not one that's running away from shit they're terrified of.
But this man that he's chasing us, he's in league with the Dark Ones. The Dark Ones.
Then you should probably kill him.
Yeah, you see that even though even though that you're saying stuff like that, they basically all of them except Ham, they fall to their knees and they just beg you to not leave them. Yeah.
I'm here, Conrad, Catafelt, I'm okay if y'all want to travel with them as long as they take a fucking bath in the river when we get closer.
No arguments here.
Katveo?
I'm standing with my arms folded, kind of looking at the guys. And I say that I'll go in front or follow behind. So if I run into this guy, I could find something out.
Okay. All right. So here's the deal, gentlemen. You be on your best behavior, do what we say, and you might live to see the child again.
Sorry, once again?
I said, you follow us and do what we say, and you might live to see the child again.
Yes, we will. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And you see that they are just like bowing to you, stuff like that. They're just thank you. So you're traveling first, and they essentially tail you, right?
I think that's what Cadvale was saying. I think.
Yeah.
Totally
If you guys want to travel with them, I'll go out 200, 300 feet ahead or something.
Okay.
Or at certain times behind, or just not.
So you're going to be ranging around, circling around us while we move forward.
Yeah, I'm looking for whoever's pursuing you, or dangers wherever.
Makes sense.
Okay, sure.
Close the door. It's not here.
Wait a second. I need to roll d10. I need to roll d10. Fuck's sake. Well, apparently Roll20 doesn't want me to roll d10. Oh, now it does. Thank you. First roll counts. Okay. Cool. So you are traveling forward, ever onward, ever onwards, ever onwards, through the cold and merciless oblast, where the open terrain stretches out in all directions. Sometimes in the distance you see like few trees, maybe few pieces of shrubbery, some low hills, stuff like that. But honestly, it's just empty space. And the only constant thing here is the merciless wind, which basically is just so strong, so cold, and so unpleasant that even with few layers of clothing and sturdy, backpacks and slingbacks on your backs, you feel it in your bones. You wonder how people can live normally in a place like that, but apparently Kislev is a nation in itself, and it works as a buffer, from the hordes of from the north. But it's you can't really imagine living in a place like that. Even Ostland and Stillland, two rather poor provinces, still look like a magnificent place to live compared to this barren, unforgiving, empty land. All right.
Yo, this sucks.
Yeah. Yes, and you are just traveling. I mean, Kadveo is riding on the back of his horse. You guys are walking. The refugees trottle behind you. Eventually, the first night comes since you've met them. None of you are happy about this, by the way. Even people adjusted to the cold, like Conrad, because Ostland is a cold province, have trouble with Kislevite weather. The refugees smartly start their fire some distance from you guys. They don't want any trouble, but you see their meager fireplace, like a dozen meters from you.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not even asking about watches. I know that you guys just take rotational watches each night.
Yes.
So okay, nice. So those are two bad rolls for this day from me. Okay.
When I'm by myself, I cut my.
I know. Hand.
Opposite. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I feed.
Yeah.
I go to my herd and I feed.
Yeah, you remember what happened last time when you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
It's monotonous, but I have to say I do it every day. So.
Yeah. Okay. So next day arrives, and when the weak sun finally raises to the heavens from above the horizon, there are very few lights before the heavy Kislevite clouds just shroud it completely. That's the thing about traveling through Kislev. That's one more thing. When you were in the Empire, there were Sundays, but here the sky is completely overcast almost all the time, and this half gloom is seriously depressing. It's like it's not only cold, it's also eternally gloomy. That said, Konrad and Kadveu, you do remember Kislevites from Balalaika in Talaheim, and they were a happy bunch, even though the times were tough on them. They didn't have jobs. Most of them, they had few coins to spare. These people were rather happy, but the problem here is that you haven't met really any Kislevites yet. You are just traveling through the open space. And out of the game, if in the realm of the ice cream there are rules for traveling too long through Oblast, you can basically get mad, become mad, because the empty space just gets to you. But of course, I'm not going to use this here. But just so you guys know, for each of you, this is very, very, very strange and not pleasant, especially to you, Kadveo. You are from a forest. and
Yeah.
and
Seen like 2 trees.
yes, 2 trees. Well, I mean there are like few, well maybe not forests, but copse of trees like 5, 6, yeah, something like that, tops.
My heart is growing cold and weak.
Yes, here and there. But the thing is that you constantly look around you because you expect to be ambushed at any point. And even though all around you is empty space, each of you have a feeling that if an ambush would come, then you would be caught unaware. There's something about this land that's not completely right. Maybe if you would be Kislevites, it would be, but you know how it is. Anyway, yeah. In the middle of the day, after you've eaten your second meal, you hear the sound of hoofs, of horse hoofs. It comes from all directions at once, but not really. You also hear sound of heavy armor clanking and the labored breathing of steed. And it takes a few moments for the rider to come into view. Do you want to do anything before that? There are a few bushes here.
Conrad draws his sword.
You draw your bull sword, of course. Cadveo, what about you?
I want to pull Janelle over to one of the bushes.
The bushes are very small. The horse won't be able to hide there. It's like...
I'll stay mounted in just where I am then, like not moving.
Okay.
Like they obviously see me.
Okay. What about you, Luther?
I mean, I'll pull off my halberd and stand to attention, but I feel all right about this.
Okay. As eventually the man rides into view. He rides a big black stallion, and you see that the horse has rents in its flanks, and foam flecks its lips. Its eyes roll with fear and pain, but it still obeys its rider. The rider, it's himself, is big and grim, and his grinning horned skull helm accentuates these things. By the way, you see parchments and purity seals fluttering from his black armor, and a fine-looking sword with a skull pommel hangs in a scabbard from the saddle. Yeah, so you essentially see someone like that. Aside from that, you also see that he has crossbow, pistol. There are throwing knives on his armor, and it's clear that this man is prepared because his black destrier is it's armored in playbarding, but it's also equipped with a saddle, harness, and a couple of saddlebags that hold probably extra rations feed. There are wineskins here. You, with some alarm, you see a coil of rope hanging from the saddle horn, and sheaves for stakes hanging from various straps and ropes. There are also 2 sets of manacles. Yes, this man comes prepared. Conrad, especially you eye this man, and the first word that comes to mind is witch hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Clit de Mur, but perhaps a bit more traditional. You don't think that this man is an albino who uses elven names.
Yeah.
I'll
Whoa there!
I'll step my horse off the road, so like I'll
There's
clear a
no
path
road
for him.
here. There are a few trails, hunting trails. There are no roads in Oblast. That's the thing. That's another thing why this place is so strange to you. This is supposed to be a developed nation, but apparently, aside from their larger cities, the whole land is just wild. You see that the man... Yeah, Brian, you take your horse to the side. Luther, you shout, "Hail, sir!" Something like that, yes?
I said, "Hello there, Templar."
You see that the man pauses. He had his sword unsheathed, which he now sheaths. He raises his visor. "Men of the Empire," he says, ignoring you, Cadveo, by the way. "Today is the day of thy destiny. It is by no chance meeting that our paths cross. Nay, it has been ordained." His eyes drift upwards and his face hangs slack. You see that a pregnant minute passes. His eyes clear, and he takes in you as if for the first time. "Yes, I see it now. You nicely, come! Heretics are afoot."
What heretics? Where?
You see that with that he draws his sword once more, shouts, "For Sigmar! For the Empire!" and rides off in a random direction.
See, I turned to Conrad. I'm like, Conrad, you served in the army, right?
That's correct.
All right. Now, we don't really work under this kind of bullshit. We need orders on where to go, and I'm fine with just keep going. And let him work this shit out.
I agree. He didn't give us a chance to talk to him or anything. I don't know what the hell this guy's deal is. Let's just keep on going. We have our mission.
By the way, you realized which direction he rode towards. He rode towards the direction of refugees. Because they are, like, they're not walking. Sometimes they are walking, like a dozen meters from you, but sometimes, but remember, these men are very weak compared to you. So sometimes, they walk like a mile behind you, half a mile, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to go murder those guys. Well,
Say la vie.
Conrad wipes his hands off. Like, oh.
I think that's that Bretonian expression. Life sucks. Say la vie.
Yes.
I think Sigmar wills it. If they are pure, they will not die.
See, that's exactly the point I had. Now, Clinton Moore, or whatever the fuck that guy was, he didn't understand the fact that, not everybody has to respect Sigmar, but everybody knows what he's all about. These little four fuckers didn't know shit. You ask me, they had it coming.
Yes.
Well, if I yelled to this guy, could he still hear me?
You can try, but he's galloping very fast and he has a barded warhorse and is wearing full plate.
I say, "For Sigmar!" and put my hand in the air.
Okay. He didn't react in any way. Yeah, so the man disappeared. You notice that in some distance, a few footmen who are apparently following him, there are like 4 or 5 of them, change direction, and they're running after him. Probably his entourage. You don't see any details about this man, but it's clear that they are following this mysterious black-clad warrior. Yeah. So, I guess that you are just traveling forever onwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
That was the one of the very random encounters in the Oblast. A wild witch hunter appears. It's not super effective.
I would like to point out, Conrad and Casvale, it's nice seeing that in this shit stain of a wide expanse of nothingness, we still get some glimpses of what it's like to be at home.
Yes.
Seeing a witch hunter be completely ineffective.
This is not home.
Oh, not for you, Casvale, but your home is, off, fucking thousands of miles. And honestly, it's your own damn fault you came this far.
Does anyone feel kind of bad about just carrying on?
No.
I mean, I never said I was going to defend them or anything. Like, I just wanted to see who was following them, and we found that out. And great.
Honestly, we don't even know if that is the guy.
Well, I mean, he was
Probably.
completely clad in black, so you guess
Yeah.
that it was him.
Yeah, it's probably.
Like he
But
had
it's
the
like-
black armor, black clothing, black gesture, black barding on the black gesture. His weapons were black as well, so you guess that this was the man.
I think we have a lot going on already.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Conrad feels it's like, yeah, they'll be fine. They're servants of Sigmar. They'll be cool.
Cool after the fires burn out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you travel ever onwards through the oblast, further and further towards the Crags of Shargun, where you are supposed to meet the child, the chosen of Sigmar. At least that's what you are. That's what you were told. That's what back in Slovenia. It's the very same day later. Something happened. As usual, the empty space of the steppes surrounds you, and it is oppressive. But you are soldiering on. Step after step, mile after mile, when suddenly you hear a forlorn howl echoing across the steppe. It seems to reverberate all around you, coming from all directions at once.
More werewolves.
It is still it is still day. It's gloomy, it's cloudy, but it's still day.
I've got a bonus to animal care, but
This
is
does
there-
not
is there a
sound.
way I could-
This
do what?
does not sound like any normal animal to you.
Okay, I was asking, like, is there a way I could roll to try and identify what it was?
You don't have to roll. This is unnatural. It
Got
it freezes the blood in your veins, all of you. You feel the
So-
terror at the edges of your sanity.
Got it.
A bank of frigid fog rolls across the ground, moving with alarming speed. Coils of vapor twist and writhe, blanketing the sun and making it appear as a pale silver disk in the sky. The temperature drops even more, and each exhalation adds to the thickening mist. And then you see it, there. A black cloud takes shape, and the center of its mass, two green fires burn with unholy light. It steps forward, revealing the nature of its awful form, a dog, more massive than any you have ever seen. It has a long, shaggy black coat matted with filthy eyes. A massive maw filled with inwardly pointing teeth dominates the hound's wedge-like head. It snarls, fixing you with its fiery gaze. Everyone roll terror, please. You roll only fear, Conrad, because
Yeah.
actually, wait,
Doesn't-
you had your sword. You had your sword in your hand after hearing the how. I guess that you would pull it out.
Yes.
Okay,
Is
so
that specific to his sword?
yes,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we're just rolling willpower, right?
yes, and if you have remember terror, okay, Cadveo,
What does
you want
cool-headed do? That doesn't help me.
cool-headed?
It does something. Cool-headed it's just a +5 permanent willpower. So
Yeah.
Okay,
I should
I-
have already
I
added.
have those.
You want to reroll that, Brian, because you will get insanity point for that.
Okay, yes, I will then.
Okay, nice.
Nice.
You are all holding your ground against the Sphinx horrible aura. It regards you with a baleful stare and then turns away, heading back into the mists. You see that it moves at a fair pace. Fast enough for you to probably work to keep up. If you want to follow it, of course.
No.
Not really.
The thing is that it is moving towards your destination.
Oh.
Well, boys, I think we had a great journey here. Let's go back to that big old city, you know?
No, we have to see it through. We have to find the child and find out if he is if he is an abomination we think he is.
Conrad, we've been through a bit together. We've killed a bunch of dogs. And, you know, I was fully expecting that to be kind of a little party there. But you're saying you want me to go after the demon that came out of the fucking fog?
Well, I'm not saying that we go after the demon per se, but if he's going in the direction that we need to go anyway, then we might want to have an idea of where he's headed to. So let's stop John and get to running. As they say in Oslo.
Fine.
I'll take off on the horse and pursue.
You pursue this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so Cadveo, when you give chase, you see that you know it also like speeds up, and it is fast. By the way, it is very fast, even. When you catch up with it, like it goes faster. When you stop, it waits. For how long are you chasing it? Remember that if you want to chase it, you will leave your comrades behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna go maybe to the horizon and stop. I don't want to lose sight of my comrades.
Okay, so what happened is that you've chased after it for a while. This strange mist, it essentially traveled with it. So, for example, Konrad and Luther, you suddenly, found yourself just in the middle of the oblast. There's no mist anymore. Cadveo, you saw that at some point the hound stopped toying with you, just sped up, and disappeared into the mists completely, which then also dispersed. There's no sign of it. There's no sign of the foul vapors. There's no sign of the baleful green glowing eyes. Just looking at you with this feral intensity. There's nothing. It's just open space. So I guess after that you return to your comrades.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Luther and Konrad. After 20 minutes you see that Cadveo returns on Janelle, who's a bit tired, by the way. After all, you were, riding fast, chasing this thing. It's like this dog never appeared. It's like it was never here.
Well, that's odd.
This land isn't right.
Yo,
There's
now,
some kind of Dara at work.
is it like, I know I've heard about, Lawrence of Araby, traveling through the desert and seeing like mirages and shit. Is it like that?
It didn't felt like a mirage. This thing. That's
Well,
the
I've
thing.
never
It felt
so
like
I say it did.
like a credible, horrifying danger to you.
And we all saw it.
Yeah, well, we just have to be on our guard out here. We've already run into a couple of weird things. We just need to stay focused and make it to our destination. We don't want to have all of our hardships be for nothing.
Michael, can I make a navigation check using my map to
Of
get
course.
an idea of exactly where we're at?
Of course, roll.
One sec, gotta find it. I had collapsed my. There we are. Boom.
You're on the right track. You know that. You're sure about that. In less than a week, you should reach the Crags. The food will be tight, and you will probably, travel the last day, maybe two, without provisions, unless you can hunt something. But you should reach the place just fine, unless, of course, something bad happens to you along the way.
Well, no. I'm looking at the map here, and we were kind of in a straight shot here. Did we completely go past, what is it, Vitzi?
Yeah,
Well, shit.
Vitzi, if anything, yeah. If you are talking about the... Yeah, you have passed Stanitsas in the distance, but it was, like I said, in the distance. You mean, you're talking about this place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this... You haven't even saw this place yet. By the way, your map is not that specific, just so you know. This isn't the map that we have here. This...
Well, yeah, I doubt it will be that specific.
Yeah, because this kind of map is like for reserved for, I'm not even kidding, for people like the Emperor or an Elector Count.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing you see, spread over an entire wall or painted onto the floor of like an account's like strategy room.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly like that. Which even in the map of the Empire you can see that it is commissioned by His Imperial Majesty Karl Franz I. So this is literally the map that was made for the Emperor. So anyway, you are traveling ever onwards, just like before. But now you look all around you for the sign of the baleful stare and two greenish demonic eyes. Fortunately, there are none so far. Another day passed, and nothing happened. Fortunately, for you. You were on the lookout for the dog and the mysterious black-clad man, but neither of them, showed up, which was good. And then you move forward. At about noon the next day, you feel a chill wind blowing across the grasses, carrying the promise of ice and snow across the land. Which, by the way, I like to remind you that even though this is spring, there are still patches of snow here and there on the oblast. Moments later, you think you see a distant figure picking its way through the fields. You can try and succeed on a -20 perception test, all of you.
Perception.
Nope.
Sorry, just having trouble.
Cadveo
There it
passed.
is.
Yeah, Cadveo passed.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, by the way, Cadveo, I've checked. 90. I believe that 95 is the highest possible number that you can succeed on. So even though you have 97, from 95 to 100, it is always a fail, and 99 and 100, it is, in our rules, it is considered a batch.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but congratulations on maxing out one of the stats. So that's always impressive. Yeah. Cadveo.
It's Legolas in one
Yeah.
respect.
Now you're going to surf on the shield. Cadveo, you see that the figure appears feminine, based on the swaying of her hips, and her body language suggests that she's looking for something in the grass. She's about 200 yards away, so it would take a bit to reach her. By the way, you all see the figurine. Cadveo just sees the details that I've just described. Do you want to approach her?
Yeah, but not threateningly.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys, Conrad and Luther?
I don't know. Like, Campbell, what are you doing? We don't know what that is.
It's pussy.
It appears to be a woman.
Hey, Conrad, it's a girl.
You girls are disgusting.
I was gonna say the last woman we ran into turned into some kind of creature and nearly ripped my face off.
Hey man, that's
And that's why you guys never get laid.
Conrad is going to draw his sword because everything out here looks like a threat to him.
Okay. What about you, Luther?
No, I'm not gonna draw my halberd. It's pretty apparent that it's on my back, so I'm just gonna walk.
Okay, just my question is if are Conrad and Luther approaching the figure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're approaching the feminine, mysterious figure in the distance. As you draw closer to the woman, you see that she's young, her long brown hair held back with a leather cord. Her dress is black, as if she were in mourning. She has a fine figure, regal features, but her eyes seem old. She carries a short black walking stick as she moves through the tall grass. And as she turns to look upon you, you feel a queer sensation welling up inside of you.
Shit.
Now I need to quickly check one thing on your character sheets. Okay, nice. Conrad. Let's see. Okay. And Cadvale. Floor, whatever it was. Cadvale, roll me minus 10 willpower. Sorry, wait. Okay, you've rolled. Okay, doesn't matter. Sorry, you didn't have to roll. My bad, Brian. But I will need Luther to roll me minus 10 willpower. Do you want to reroll?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, reroll, please. Nice.
There we go.
Okay, very nice. Luther, you had this strange feeling for a second, but, nothing else. When you approach, you see that the woman smiles at you, revealing a mouthful of black teeth and a bluish tongue. Apparently she is pretty, but her dental hygiene is lacking, which isn't really surprising given the circumstances and environment. Hello there, she says. Would you like to join me for a meal and shelter? Bad weather threatens from the north, and it's not wise to stay in the open during such times.
She's saying this to me.
To all of you.
I mean, that's incredibly hospitable and not something I'm used to, so I'm a little bit wary.
Thank you, madam, but we are on a mission of the utmost importance and must continue on our way.
Very well, of course. If that is so, then I bid you farewell, and may you travel safely.
You as well.
She bows slightly, and then she just turns away and moves in a different direction.
Yeah, sorry, Conrad, it's nice and all being on this mission. It's, we're getting a little low on food, but at least it's a whole goddamn sausage party with us.
Beware of strange women. Didn't your mama ever teach you that?
You could probably teach that to Bretonia. They pray to a strange woman.
That's true. And look what that got them.
Yeah.
They're nowhere near as cool as the Empire.
Exactly. They don't even have guns.
Yeah.
Actually, they have under vessels only. They use cannons, but yeah. Other than that, no, they don't use black powder.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard a whisper in my ear that sounded like somebody spouting off some shit that I don't know, and I'm going to pray about that. So I'm going to go pray to Tall.
Yeah, this strange cosmic octopus is saying things into your ear.
Yeah, when you guys start measuring dicks like over religion, I just start riding my horse in the direction we were headed again.
Okay.
Well, Sigmar is the one who brings us guns. So.
Easy! Easy, though! Didn't really seem like his thing.
Yes.
Oh, a gun has a hammer on it. He has a hammer. It's science, bro.
The hammer has a gun on it.
No, the gun has a hammer on it.
The gun has a hammer. What the? No. Conrad, fuck off.
Well, there are guns swords with guns, and there's even, I don't know if you guys saw the Empire Pistolier sprue, but their sergeant has a sword mixed with a gun, and historically they existed, but they were incredibly impractical.
Yeah.
Because one solid blow to the side of the blade meant that the barrel was fucked. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you leave the strange woman, and you travel ever onwards. Later this day, you once again had an encounter with the strange dog. Once again, a fog rolled out, but this time the creature appeared in the distance, standing on a small hill. It regarded you with its horrible greenish stare, and then turned around and slowly moved towards the direction that you are traveling in. Since that was the direction that you were traveling in, you, I guess, had to follow it. But when you've traversed the small hill, it was gone, and the fog disappeared. At this point, Katveo, you know how, and Luther, you too, you guys know how predators sometimes work. They are luring their prey, so to speak, making sure that they are traveling in their...
They all basically pull out of the same playbook of... we're not going to attack until we know you're weak.
Yeah, something like that. And while you are not getting weaker, because even though the empty space and the constant cold, the feeling of being alone, even though you are traveling like in a group, you have this strange thing that you are all alone in the world right now. These things get to you. You are, you still have food. You are well armed, well armored. You have clothes on your backs. That's important. So yeah, the despair is not getting to you yet. The next day,
every athel they say has spirits that either, protected or whatever. And maybe this land is no different.
Yeah, don't sound so depressed by the fact that we're doing okay there, Michael.
I'm not sounding depressed. I'm loving this. Nah, don't worry. I'm preparing something very special for you guys later.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Not to mention the RRV campaign. This is going to be a treat. But now I need to open very quickly one thing and to scroll my PDF down, ever down. Thank you. Oh yeah, here it is. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Now, next day arrives. Another day of travel, another day of enduring the merciless cold, another day of just trekking through this God's forsaken land. You've learned by now that the stretches between the isolated villages in Kislev may seem empty, but they are anything but. Because, scattered throughout the rolling fields are the bones of the lost and unwary, abandoned villages and old war machines dating back probably to the Great War against the archenemy from 200 years earlier, or even things that are even older. You saw a few disconcerting, strange rock formations in the distance. From during your time in the oblast, to you they looked like teeth emerging from the frozen ground. They weren't. None of them was really, in your way, so you didn't really check any of them out. But they did look ritualistic, so to speak. None of you have any ideas what purpose they serve. Katveo, of course, you had like stone circles in your forests, but they looked differently. They looked majestic and and calming, and like I said, these things, they just looked like teeth emerging from the ground. So not really. Yeah.
We use them to warn outsiders.
Yeah. And as you wander across the grasslands, you notice, Sandy, that otherwise flat horizon is broken by tall dark objects that lean and twist, reaching for the blue sky above, because believe it or not, on this day the skies are blue. Distances can be deceiving in Kislev, and here is no different. And after walking almost 9 hours, you reach this place, because it is on your way. On the way leading to the Crags of Shargun. And when you reach the halfway point, you realize that the objects are enormous grey stones. Finally, after you've pressed on, the details became clearer. 15 huge monoliths stand between 9 and 30 feet tall. Their rough texture has been cracked and worn by the wind. In the crannies, birds have made nests, and their leavings stain the sides of the great stones. They are arranged in seemingly no order, but are situated in such a way that one cannot see through to the other side. As you approach them, the air is getting colder. And whenever the wind blows, it carries a very faint stench of rot.
The wind is blowing from that direction?
Well, I mean, the wind is blowing from different directions, but when it blows like through the stones, you smell the stench of rot.
Maybe it's the Crusade.
Out of character, I think I know what it is. In character, would I have any idea that
No.
it might be a predator's lair or something?
You don't even have to roll for that. Yeah, of course, it might very well be some kind of predator's lair, or maybe some kind of burial ground, stuff like that. But you don't really know.
Are there, Cadwell, do you see any tracks of our companion anywhere around here?
Should I test?
You can roll, of course.
It's a follow trail?
Yes.
Actually, shit, I have follow trail.
Okay.
I forgot.
But I'm the elf.
Yeah.
Well, but also I'm way shittier at it than you are.
I'm the elf. It's like the only thing that I know. Follow trail. To your surprise, you haven't seen the tracks. But I mean, by the way, guys, you haven't seen the tracks of the dog in the ground. That's the thing. The dog appeared in front of you and then disappeared, but it left no tracks. It's like it wasn't there. The only sign that it was there was the frozen grass of the steppe, where the fog appeared. Because when the fog appeared, the temperature dropped, like heavily dropped. To the minus levels of temperature. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are standing in front of this monoliths. It is rather late today. Like I've said, reaching this place took you 9 hours. And you can feel that the wind is getting stronger. Remember that when you are breaking camp in the middle of the oblast, you have tents, stuff like that, you have blankets, but even with them, you are at the mercy of the elements. What do you want to do?
It looks like these stones would shield us from the wind at least, but we might have to clear whatever's made a home there.
Yeah, Conrad draws his sword. It's like, well, we need to investigate. Could be members of the Crusade who met their demise. Could be people who just smell bad. We need to investigate.
How close together are these monoliths?
Like I've said, they are rather close, but you can enter between them. They look semi-normal, semi-natural, but at the same time you have a feeling that they're not exactly that.
In that case, I'm not going to get my halberd out. I'm going to get my mace out.
Okay.
I don't think I would be able to wield my halberd very well in there.
Okay. Yeah. You don't see any strange symbols on them, if that's if
Yeah,
that's what you're wondering.
Yeah.
There are
No breaks
there are no burning runes. There are no strange sigils, fortunately. But then you hear, and then you see a hand emerging from behind one of the monolith. The hand is large. It is covered in scales and patches of matted green fur, and the hand is enormous. It could grab your horse in the waist easily. The hand grabbed one of the obelisks, and you see that.
On second thought, I'm gonna get out my halberd.
Yeah, and then you see that the talons left long, deep grooves in the stone, and then the owner of the hand appeared. It is a horrible monstrosity, almost 4 meters tall, maybe three and a half, between 3 and 4. It is tall and emaciated, but at the same time, it is humongous. It has 2 heads covered in what looks like a scale and patches of filthy green fur. It holds a huge stone club in one of its hands. It has large belly hanging, slackly, which, at the same time it looks like it's full, but also empty. And there are mouths and eyes covering this thing's entire frame. You've heard about trolls. Perhaps some of you even saw them in your life, but this troll is changed. It has stigmata of the northern powers on it. And it stinks horribly. You see that its idiotic eyes regard you with this look of eternal hunger and malice, and then it roars. Like a roar mixed with a wail. Terror tests, everyone. Well, that's a botch. Do you want to reroll that, Luther?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
That wasn't much better.
Okay.
But at least it's not a botch.
So, Catvale and Luther, you gain 1 insanity point each. And now I need to... I don't recall if terror means that you are running away. I think that it does. Wait a second. I have my book on me this time. I mean, digital book.
We all got an extra fate point last session, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Sweet. So I do have 1 more luck.
Yes. Yeah, you have to run away. Okay. So let's start with initiative. This thing will be at the very end, so I'm not even going to roll for it. Wait, sorry. Actually, I can roll for it because I forgot about the slight changes to the creature. So as usual, the man who's making notes, also takes initiative, writes down initiative. Okay, let's roll for initiative, everyone, and then we'll see what will happen to you. D10 plus your agility. Remember about armor. So Conrad is 15.
I roll shitty.
Okay. 73. Cadve will be first for certain. Cadve, you have chainmail on you?
Yeah.
The modifiers are in there.
Okay.
The modifiers.
Remember that modifiers are -10, not -5.
Yeah, but so we talked about this before because when you put the modifier -5 in there, it adds it twice for whatever reason. So
Okay,
that total
okay.
is -10.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for that. Luther, you've... okay, so now I'm going to roll for this thing. So first is Catvale, then it's Conrad, then it's the troll, and finally we have Luther. Cadveo, you run away as fast as possible in the opposite direction. Sorry, actually, we have to roll for Janelle. Roll for your horse, Cadveo.
I'm not sure what the stats are, but
I just roll the 100. Let's see. Oh, actually, she could have passed that, ironically. Because this is what? This is a war horse, or this is just a horse?
it's just a horse.
No, so she failed because she has willpower 10. No, that would be funny. Okay, you and your horse run away as fast as possible in the opposite direction, which means that she uses her full speed characteristic to just get away as far as possible. Now we have Conrad. You are the only one who composed himself, right?
Apparently.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to leg it because I cannot fight this thing by myself.
Okay, so you are also running away in the opposite direction. Okay.
Yeah.
Remind me, if your sword gives you minus modifiers only if you fail the fear test. It doesn't give you minus modifiers if you decide to leg it from combat.
I don't think it does, but let me double check.
No, I don't think it does.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you turn away and you run. Luther, you're up. I mean, you would be first, but first is the troll, and the troll, since your comrades abandoned you, charges at you, bellowing some kind of horrible, obscene war noise, swinging its club over its head. It just rushes at you. By the way, Conrad, you saw that what it's going to do when you are running away. You steal a quick glance behind you, and you see that it charges towards Conrad, who is also ready to run away. But
yeah, fuck, I forgot.
Yeah.
He was asked.
So it hits because you are considered helpless right now. Besides, even without this, it would manage to strike you. Yeah. Okay, so this is an. Actually, wait. I'm not. I don't want to swindle you. I need to quickly check one thing. Since this thing hits like a truck, I think it is rather important to make sure if you are hit, if you are in fact hit.
Oh, like stupidity or something?
No, it's stupidity. Stupidity here works differently than in the battle game. It almost never comes into play. It's a useless rule in second edition. I never once used it. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately it does. Okay. I think you can. Oh no! When you are stunned, you can't really dodge, even with the additional. If you would use a luck point. Oof. Oh, 9-7. Okay. The thing ran towards you, raised its club high, and delivered a punishing, horrible strike right towards your torso. It 17 damage total.
Ouch.
Yeah, all of you heard that, by the way. Conrad, you've heard the horrible cry of Luther when this thing smashed its club right into him. Cadveo, you are galloping too fast, to like hear anything. You are on the back of the horse.
That's
yeah.
Is that minus toughness and armor?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Minus
All
toughness.
right, so that'll be 10 wounds.
How much do you have left?
10.
Okay, now it's your turn, and you are still terrorized, so you need to run away.
Yeah.
And which means that this thing gets a free hit.
Cool.
But I will. Let's do this. Let's do it like that. Roll for willpower right now. Nice. You've composed yourself, which means that you still need to run, but you can dodge and parry the attacks right now.
Yeah.
Because of the strike that you received from this thing, you know, the pain is overwhelming, but it also brought back some semblance of your sanity and self-preservation. So
It
even
literally knocked sense into me.
yeah, so even though you are turning around and trying and preparing to flee, and you see that the troll will use this opportunity to strike at you once again, you are prepared to defend yourself. So just like Catvale, you use your full speed to move away from this thing. I'm going to roll for it right now. Yeah, it hits. Sadly, it hits. But you can dodge or parry if you wish. I mean, if you want to parry with halberd right now, you would have to spend a luck point, because halberd doesn't have automatic parry, so you can practically only really dodge, unless you want to spend luck.
I would rather spend the luck to try and dodge, or to try and parry.
Okay, so you prepare to disengage from this thing, but you also prepare your halberd to defend yourself with. Remember that if you do this, you won't be able to use luck to reroll that.
That's fine.
Okay? Nice, nice. Just in time, you've lashed out with your halberd towards the stone club, and you've changed its trajectory just barely. It embedded itself in the frozen Kislevite ground, mere inches from your body, and then you just turn away and you run like hell. You run like hell, and we have next round, starting with Catvale. Roll willpower. Okay, you've composed yourself. Congratulations.
Wow.
You can.
Oh, what up? What am I doing?
You'll be able to act completely normally from next turn. That said, you are quite a distance away from your comrades because you've used your horse to, move as far away as possible. Now we have Conrad.
My horse.
What about you? You saw that with a quick glance, you saw that Luther managed to avoid the killing stroke and just run away from this thing as fast as possible.
Does he look like he's got distance on the troll?
Yeah, it looks like, although you don't know how fast the troll can actually move.
I yell at the troll. I'm still running away, but I'm yelling at the troll. Hey, come here, you big ugly piece of shit! Come get a real meal.
Okay,
But
so
I'm
you
still
are
running.
okay. So you are trying to
Lure it away from.
lure it away. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have the troll. The troll is what it's going to do. Oh, now we have to check the. I don't like this. Now we have to check the tables for running, and they were. Oh yeah, here it is.
Very
Okay.
odd shape scene.
Yeah. Where the hell is running? If you guys have the book handy, there should be a table there which lists. Oh yeah, I have it. Doesn't matter. Okay, nice. Running with strength 4, so it's 24. So think okay. Okay. In that case, I am going to roll for the troll since you've yelled after it. Let's see the intelligence test. No, sadly, you see that it's still. Actually, sorry. Yeah, it worked. You see that it changed direction and like, and runs towards you.
Great.
The problem is, it's running very fast.
Oh shit. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, you are running, and Luther will be right back. So, okay, guys, let's take a few minutes break. I'll
Okay,
make
sounds
myself
good.
some coffee, and we'll be right back. Okay, cool.
Okay, sounds good.
Might actually get some mountain combat in here. This would be cool.
What's up, boys?
Yo.
I've got some stuff that I've been priming in the garage that I need to go check on.
Might get some mounted combat in here.
I'm just hoping not to die.
Do you know if I have an option to get specialist weapons cavalry?
Yeah.
Will that help with any mounted combat, or does it have to be like a lance or something?
I'm pretty sure that's just cavalry weapons.
So like I can't do like a pass with my sword on a horse and it's gonna help me or anything.
I don't think so. I can look it up real quick.
I've either got that or I could learn two-handed weapons, and halberds are two-handed weapons, right?
Yeah.
That might be nice to learn, because I have to learn one of them, and I don't want to be carrying a lance around. It's kind of weird.
Well, that was the thing. I was thinking of changing out the halberd for a greatsword, but it was just too expensive.
Nah, if I can get the halberd, I'll chip into the greatsword when I have money again.
Yeah, that's fair.
You teach me how to use it. I'm like really good at range, but questionable in close combat. Like I could dodge like a boss, but like landing a heavy blow on, like a monster, it just never happens. Like I could fight humans and like animals and stuff, but whenever we're fighting a monster, I can't get in close combat.
Well, I mean, like even then, what is it for Wood Elves? I don't think you have much in the way of cavalry weapons to begin with, aside from a lance.
Yeah, like the only reason I have the option for it is because I'm like currently a captain. And so it wants me to get all this heavy stuff and everything, so it's kind of weird.
I was the captain.
Yeah.
But I got tired of that.
That maxes me out. There's like really nothing I could do after that where I'm going to have like a new skill tree or anything.
That was the thing, is I went to Explorer. I was like, well, fuck it. I guess I'll do this now.
Yeah. Sometimes once you get to a certain career, it's like, what, why would I leave this career? Or what, what's the purpose?
Yeah, I like to get back on a viable career path at this stage. I would have to jump careers like twice, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to get to something else, like assassin or.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about it because like I don't have any of the gear, and I still have some room to improve my stats and things like that. So, and actually I probably still have a few skills and or talents that I could get, but
I need to get a telescope.
Oh shit, that probably cost us a ton of money.
Gold.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
I think with this,
like the trappings it requires here for Explorer are going to run me into debt.
Yeah.
A bow or a crossbow with 10 arrows or bolts. Well, I suck at range, so whatever. A hand weapon, I've got that. Medium armor, I've got that. A shield, I don't really care, but whatever. 6 maps. 1,000 gold in coin and trade goods.
Wow.
And a horse for the saddle and harness.
When I had my halfling crime lord, the way I got through some of the trappings requirements was like I think I needed 100 gold at the time, and like like a gang of people following me or something. So like I made a deal that I would handle all the finances if everybody chipped in. I forget what the percentage was, but everybody like quote unquote kicked up money. You know what I mean? So like at any given time, I had like most of the money in the group, but I would like cover everything. You know what I mean? So like that way, I was able to have enough money to get the trappings requirement.
Oh, is that why you did that?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And plus, it's like kind of a crime lordy thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, yes. Let me take care of that for you. And one day I will ask a favor of you.
and it like you know when you walk into a tavern and you're this little dude throwing money around and you have these big dudes standing all around you, it kind of sends a message. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Leopold just liked it because he didn't have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, fuck it.
And Sally felt like a boss, so it worked for everybody.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but if Luther's going to do the explorer thing, you need 1,000 gold, for instance. You could just say, well, like you're like offer to take control of the finances for the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if we charter an expedition, I'll take care of this.
That's what you just go into debt. You just take out a loan.
Hey man, I can sell debt. That's fine. That's easy.
There you go. I'm gonna short sell this.
I mean, it doesn't say I have to be a morally upright explorer. I can be unethical.
Sure.
I can tie up my assets and credit.
Mm-hmm.
Fun story there. The one of the LGSs I go to, one of my friends that owns it, pulled me aside last night after they had a customer come in, and he was like, "I'll do this," because he knows the person. I know the person is going through a divorce right now and wants to tie up some of his money in easily sellable goods.
Wow.
Which is a very unethical thing to do, but we get where he's coming from on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much money is it? And he said, well, the Magic the Gathering cases are going to be pretty fucking sparse for a while. I was like, okay, so are we talking like 5,000? He's like, well, we're talking like 20,000.
Whoa.
I'm like, holy shit.
20,000 worth of Magic the Gathering cards? Fuck. I can't even imagine how much that would be.
Like, the cases aren't full at all, but they aren't empty,
wow.
Which is amazing to me.
Mm.
That's also not really a good asset because that price fluctuates pretty often.
Yeah, I would. Well, I'm not a money guy, so I don't know about all that kind of stuff.
For stuff like that, you really have to be in it for the long game. Like you can't sitting on something like that, have it for sale on eBay, and then like you have to pay your rent and you lower the price. Then you lose all your power. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to willing to sit on it for years in order to get top dollar.
Well, that's like the secret to making money with like Magic the Gathering and stuff is sealed product. Like if you just buy a couple of boxes every time a very hyped set drops, and don't open it for 5-10 years, you can turn around and sell that box for 3 or 4, maybe 5 times the original price.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that happened with like all the old Hammer stuff is once people were like, oh, this shit is worth something, and then all of a sudden you're paying like 3 times the price of the fucking thing. Or like,
hi, I'm one of those people that sold a bunch of old ass Daemonettes for $22 a blister.
Wow,
you could do that with Games Workshop. Like for instance, when the Necromunda Cawdor cards come out, like if you bought like 4 packs or something, like you could sell each pack for like $60 in a few weeks after that, and people will pay it on eBay. It's crazy because that's just how they do it now.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, some things are rare, and obviously it it is a supply and demand issue, and things got hot. But I think there were people that were way overpricing stuff and being like, "Whoa, it says it's just like if I look at eBay, these are prices." I was like, "Yeah, but have those things sold at that price?"
Yeah, but there's a store
$60 for game cards.
To learn that lesson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, like for instance, there was a guy who bought that gnome spearman for like $1,000 or whatever it was. I'm serious.
Yeah.
There was one guy who bought it, and it was like, and
he needed that one miniature.
Well, I mean, I guess it was super rare and hard to find, and the guy wouldn't budge on the $1,000 whatever price, so he ended up buying it, and he's just like, yeah, I don't feel bad about buying it at all. I wanted it. I had the money. I bought it. I'm like, great. That's awesome.
There are certain things like that maybe I would, but like I have a price cap that I would. Yeah. Like, there's not a lot of minis out there that are sculpted casualties or sculpted wounded, like 40K dudes, that look good. And sadly, the only one that I really cared about getting was the wounded Cadian Guardsman,
right?
For a base that I was doing for that Telemann Dreadnought, and no, that guy's like $30 no matter where I look.
Yeah,
I don't want to pay $30 for that.
I wouldn't want to, but I mean, so that's the thing is like sometimes you're just you're like, if I can't do what I want to do, and that's the going price. Sometimes you just got to suck it up. I mean, is there a way you could make cut up a plastic Cadian and make him a casualty? Maybe.
Maybe.
Hard to say.
I'm in no rush on that. Like, I'm pretty slow with painting any army, so I'll get around to it eventually.
I ended up paying scalpers for my last few Zone Mortalis tile boxes. It was like the last thing. I had all this terrain that was meant to go on this board, but I couldn't do the board because it was like so rare, and like GW wouldn't restock or anything. So I ended up having to go through scalpers.
That sucks. But that's the thing.
I'm fine with making terrain. Like I do that. I play Frostgrave, so I kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Brian is making he's making cool terrain out of the cool terrain.
Yeah, I like doing like I use GW stuff. Like I try and do 50% that and 50% like scratch built, so that it retains the GW look, even though I just threw some foam next to it or something and some PVC pipes.
Yeah, no, your stuff is amazing.
Yeah, Brian's stuff is a game. Yeah, seriously.
Brian, do you do commission at all?
I don't. I build and I try and sell what I have, basically.
Okay, well, I'm still trying to work out like what I want to get done for some scatter for a Custodes theme table. And I'm just blowing in the wind. I don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, we can talk about it on like Messenger if you want to.
All right.
Yeah,
that'll work.
Okay, we're back. And where do we last end? I think now it was Luther's turn because the troll.
Conrad
is running after you. Yeah. Luther.
I may live to regret it.
Yeah, Luther, you've noticed that the troll is now chasing after Conrad because Conrad, yelled for it to add it to essentially, draw its attention. What are you going to do right now?
What am I going to do?
Yeah, you're still running.
No. I'm going to slow down to a pace. He's running in the opposite direction right now.
Yeah, a bit.
So I'm going to slow to a pace and take my backpack off, and I don't know how many actions I can do here to fish out a cooking pot.
Cooking pot?
Yeah.
First of all, you don't have a cooking pot in your backpack. It is strapped to your backpack, more likely.
Oh, is my backpack not on me?
It is, but a backpack like that wouldn't have space to hold a whole cooking pot, given that you are probably holding there your rations, your bandages, your, I don't know, spare set of clothes, stuff like that.
It's essentially just buckled to it.
Yeah, it's buckled to
tied
it.
to
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha. In that case, never mind. I'm just gonna take off the backpack so I can move better, and start stalking my way back over to this troll.
Okay, so you are moving towards the troll. Okay, sure.
Yep.
Cadveo, what are you going to do right now?
I'm gonna try and calm my horse.
Oh yeah, because the course is still running. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot about the horse. It was like, what, 2 rounds? First,
It
first
didn't
round.
roll last time. You want me to roll?
Now you can roll Animal Cure, yes.
Okay.
Because your horse, if you won't calm it, it will continue to just gallop.
Okay. Facile, Janelle. Facile.
Okay, you've passed. You've managed to calm your horse. It is still frightened, but your calming touch and calming words give it comfort. So that was your round, because you had to spend a whole round doing this. Given that the animal was just terrorized, it essentially soiled itself after encountering this horrible thing, but now it's calmer. Okay, Conrad, what are you going to do right now?
I am going to. So, is it?
It is closer to you.
I'm gonna still try to lure it away from Luther. I'm gonna still try to run away from it.
So you are still running full speed.
Yeah.
Okay, so just so you guys know, we never used this because we never had to use this. But
We might actually need to put dots on a map or something to show placement, because it's gonna be weird.
I'm not a fan of using tactical maps, honestly. I always found them rather unhelpful. But if we have to do this, then yeah, we'll do this. No, what I'm saying is that essentially you can't run for too long because you will get tired.
Okay.
Yeah. But for now, of course, you're just running away and yelling at the troll to follow you.
Yeah.
Cool. The troll is still following you. So, you're just running away, it chases after you. You've covered quite the distance from the stones, by the way. Yeah, that's Luther. What about you?
That thing's pretty far away. Is Cadfael back here?
No, you see Cadveo in the distance, in the far distance, by the way. He's sitting on his horse.
I'm
Waving.
gonna. I don't know, man. Like, I don't even want to run after this thing. I kind of just want to stand. I don't really think I can get there. If he keeps running, there's no chance. I mean, Conrad, it was nice knowing you.
What a bastard. Okay.
Well, I did leave him there. To be fair, I did leave him there because I forgot that he was going last.
Yeah, true that. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Did you just say I was slower than a troll?
No, you said that.
This troll, by the way, is pretty fast. That's interesting enough. I mean, it has long legs and it has powerful muscles, so yeah. So that's that. Okay, so you're just waiting. New round, Cadvale.
I rush towards Luther.
Towards Luther. Okay. You give your horse the spurs and you rush towards Luther. Okay. Now we have Conrad. What about you?
So do I feel like this troll is catching me, going to catch me?
No.
Anytime soon?
Not yet, because you've managed to gain quite a distance since it ran after Luther first.
Okay.
But now it's slowly closing this distance. It simply moves faster than you, but I am now going to roll for... Okay, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna continue trying to run away from it
Okay.
and drawing it away from my pals as best I can.
Okay. You saw, as you are, watching this whole thing happening, suddenly you saw that the troll is like stopped, looked around, looked to the left, looked to the right, looked behind it, and then it just begins to dig in the soil.
All right.
It like it lost interest in you.
Awesome.
What are you going to do?
I am going to. So I'm just trying to think of where spatially I am versus.
You are on the open steppe, so if you want to avoid the troll, you just have to take a wide wider
Yeah. So
road
okay.
length, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So if I can, I don't have a sense of if I'm running in the direction of where we need to go. If I'm running in the opposite direction.
You see the stones. It won't be any problem, and the stones are in the direction that you have to travel. It won't be any problem for you to just move towards the stones. You have to perhaps take a few steps to the right, few steps, of course, quote unquote. But you'll be able to pass the troll and just move towards the direction of the stones. That said, of course, you realize probably that it's a good idea to do this rather fast, because you never know when this troll will once again decide to
okay, so
take interest in you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep running, and I'm gonna try to go I'm definitely not gonna walk, and I'm gonna try to make a wide arc to get back to where I'm assuming I can still see Luther and Cadvale.
Yes, Cadvale is in the distance, and he rides towards Luther, and Luther is just standing to the other side of the troll, just looking at it and looking at you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm gonna keep running and making a wide arc and doubling back.
Okay.
While trying to keep my distance from the troll.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. Luther, what about you?
We
are. By the way, we are exiting the initiative right now.
What?
We are exiting the
initiative.
Okay, I'm over by the stones, right?
You are no, not exactly, because you run full speed away from them. So you are like a few dozen meters from them.
I'll stop at the stones then if everyone's coming back this way.
Okay.
In that case, I'm gonna run over to where I left my backpack and grab that, and head back over to the stones.
Very well. Okay, sure.
Can I look in the stones and see if there's like a loose boulder or something we can rig to fall on this thing when it comes back or something?
That would require for you to spend like a half an hour there. Like, you want to trap it. Well, it depends if you want to spend time doing this, because right now when you guys are traveling towards the stones, moving away from the troll, you see that it's very occupied by digging in the dirt. It apparently found something interesting there. But all of you know that at any second this thing might just once again take interest in you. And you know, Cadvale, that first of all, do you really want to dig around in a place where something like that made its lair? Because you see that this troll is mutated.
True.
It is a changed thing, and the stench that was coming from between the stones was horrible. It actually reminded you of the stench coming from ham, just a bit stronger.
Huh. Perhaps this is a blessing in disguise from Isha, and we should just carry on.
Yep, perhaps it is. So, in that case, you guys just pass the troll. I guess move around the strange circle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and
That was fun.
yeah, and you are moving towards the towards Zhidovsk.
Sigmar be praised.
I like the random encounters. Like it makes it feel more real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing that I don't like about second edition, this Polish version, is that I can't find the rules anywhere, and the index is fucked up because I was trying to find the. By the way, it was for your benefit right now because I wanted to make the combat longer, but I can't find the rules for how long can you run.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. I recall that they were somewhere here, but I can't find it anyway. So in that case, the troll is just digging in the dirt, and that's it. That was what? That was 4th day, something like that, I think.
I believe so.
Okay. The rest,
The index has nothing about running.
No, because there was this rule that you can only, I think, you can run constantly. I think for the duration of the number of your toughness bonus, stuff
Strength
like
or
that.
something.
Stuff,
Makes sense.
yeah, but I can't find it anywhere, and that's really, really, really irritating. But it doesn't really matter, because next day arrives. And you awoke to the horrible, chill of early Kislev. Oh, sorry, not early Kislev, like middle late Kislev spring. Even though it still feels more like it's actually maybe late winter. It's so cold. You eat your rations, probably cooked in a hurry in a small pot, and then you gather your belongings and move forward. By the way, Luther, do you want to patch yourself up?
Yeah, I'd like to use a healing poultice and my heal skill if possible.
Okay, use your heal skill.
Beep beep beep. Where did I put it? There it is.
Nice. So in that case, healing poultice. How does it work exactly?
I gotta look that up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I have it here. Okay, cool. Oh, you just regain 1d10. Okay, so I'm going to roll 1d10. 6. You recover 6 HP.
There we go.
Because you were lightly wounded. And let's say that you did that like previous day, because I think you have to take the poultice before going to sleep, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To pull all the toxins out. Yeah.
Yeah. Because normally... Oh, wait. Sorry. No, don't take the poultice. It only works on heavily wounded people.
Gotcha.
So you are just using your heal skill, and in that case, the heal skill, I still think that it actually gives you back, funnily enough, 1d10. But I am going to check it out. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, you still recovered 6 HP. Because healing poultice treats your heavily wounded character as if it were lightly wounded. But you were lightly wounded because you had still 10 HP, so you now have 16. You've obviously used some bandages. You will be able to heal yourself one more time this day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but remember that each healing test uses one portion of bandages.
All right, so I'm down to 4 bandages, and I'm down to 1 day of rations.
Yeah. The rations.
How much wounds did you get back?
6.
6.
The rations are slowly, disappearing. By the way, well, not slowly even, not even slowly. That's the problem. But you don't really have any choice. and you're just moving ever onwards. Ever onwards through the oblast towards the Crags, which, by the way, you still don't see them. They're still not in your view. Although you've learned by now that in Oblast sometimes things just appear, like the aforementioned stone structures that you encountered during the previous day. Same with the Black Rider. He just suddenly appeared. First you've heard him, but then he was there. So even though this is an open kind of terrain, perhaps there's just something not completely normal about Kislev. As you joke,
is it kind of like it's so flat that the curvature of the Earth sort of thing, or is it like
it's out of game? It's not really explained. It's a mix of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the world is flat.
Of course, Sigmar holds it on his
The
shoulders.
lizard men know it's round.
Yeah.
Because they can't communicate Southlands to Lustria.
Yep. They are the only ones. I think there was this humorous story about some kind of imperial astromancer who discovered this fact, and he told it, to his colleagues, and he got burned at the stake for that. So yeah, Copernicus would have a hard time in this world.
Yeah.
As you draw closer to your destination, you've spotted all sorts of oddities in the oblast. They've actually, begun to appear actually from almost day one of your travels, but the further you travel, the more common they get. Strange otherworldly birds fly north despite the true season. Black clouds pour across the sky, blotting out the sun, and racing towards an inexplicable goal, while lines of darkly clad warriors shelter in its shadow. They are, of course, great distance from you, but at the same they are rather close. Great winged things, black carriages, tremors in the ground, and all manner of queer sights have been encountered by you as you draw closer to the boy. This phenomena occur at a distance, visible because of the openness of the terrain, but at the same time it feels like they are very near. All of you travel through this desolate place, and each of you feel like you're not the only ones who should be traveling towards the Crags. Like, for some reason, yes, you have been chosen to do this, but there were supposed to be others beside you. You think you spot a diminutive figure accompanied by its friend with a queer leg. You think that you see a woodsman holding an axe over his shoulder, walking right next to you, a phantom perhaps of sorts. A priest of Sigmar with 2 hammers, a priest of Ulrich, all of them, and none of them accompany you in this last of your travels. But despite these apparitions, or maybe suggestions of apparitions, you still feel horribly alone. You eventually come across a wagon. It travels in front of you. It is pulled by a pair of doughty horses. You see, even from a distance, which is not too big, by the way, that the wagon is brightly painted in clashing colors, blending pastel greens, pinks, and blues in a rather unsettling pattern. It is completely enclosed, with a small windowless door at the back, and is equipped with folding steps. You see that the horses are large black steeds, and the entire outfit is travel-stained, a fact that becomes apparent when you get close within about 30 yards. Mud covers the wagon and the draft horses. The riders wear heavy woolen cloaks and wide-brimmed hats, worn low to conceal their features. And you see that atop the wagon are piles of baggage, including bedrolls, a rain barrow, coils of rope, and other items useful to travelers. What do you do?
I'll wave to him.
You wave, or do you also call out?
I'll call out. Hello, travelers. Do you flee something?
When you do this, you see that one of them looks at you, while the other focuses on managing the steeds. You see a hard man with swarthy skin, a thick mustache, and black eyes, and his severe face is a mess of wrinkles. He looks none too friendly, but still he touches the brim of his hat with a finger, and turns back to the path ahead. What are you doing?
So they just ignored us, pretty much?
No, he acknowledged you. He gave you, a greetings of sorts.
Okay, I'll approach.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
I think it's important that we don't seem threatening, so I'm just going to let Conrad be the only one that approaches for now. Or
Cadville?
the only one that approaches for now.
I'll follow Cadville. Does this look like Strigony kind of stuff to me, or is it like different?
You have to approach closer to make sure.
Okay. Well, I'll follow Cadville.
Okay. So, Luther, you remain behind. Conrad and Cadvale, you approach them.
I'll stay with Cadvale's horse.
Well, Cadvale, I think, is on his horse.
Oh, never mind then. I'll just stand here alone then.
Okay. Remember that if you are standing here alone, the wagon is moving. Soon you'll be alone, by the way.
Oh, okay. I thought they were stopped.
No, they are traveling, like I've said. They are riding.
Yeah, I'll just drop behind a little bit and let the other two go up.
Okay. Cadvale and Conrad, when you approach them, you take a better look at the drivers. They could be twins. Beneath their cloaks, they have homespun shirts and breeches, and each wears a silver nail on a leather cord around their necks. And by the way, from up close, you see that yes, they are Strigony.
And I don't recognize one of them, do I?
No, it's
Okay.
It's not Farouk if you are asking that.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I'm asking.
No. But they are clearly the wandering folk, traveling the roads mostly of the eastern corners of the empire. What are you doing? When you approach them, one of them looks at you, but they don't acknowledge you in any way. They gave their welcome before. Greetings before, sorry. Cadveo, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was asking if, I gesture to all their belongings on top of the wagon, and I ask if they're fleeing something.
No, we are not. We are wanderers. We follow the currents of destiny. The trail led north, and so we follow, says one of them. The one who is not, like controlling the horses. They speak Reichspree, but you can hear that it is heavily accented.
My companions and I, our Elthrai also takes us to the north. Would you like to travel in numbers?
By all means, you are welcome. Since we are heading in the same direction, it would be wise to gather strength, yes?
Yes. Do I know any Strigony words from...
Let's say that you know 2 or 3.
Okay. I'll say like just a simple word so he knows I've been around Strigony before.
Yeah, and now it turns out that, Ali pranked you and the words are "go fuck yourself" or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, of course, yeah, these words are something like welcome, hello, or, good fortune to you, stuff like that. Yeah, so you said that both of the men looked at you, Cadveo, and they've nodded, but once again they concentrate on the road and they just drive. Conrad, are you going to say anything, or not?
No, Conrad's gonna keep his mouth shut
Okay.
because he gets himself into trouble when he talks.
Okay. Sure. Sure. And you see that the drivers probably are the kinds of people who say little and keep mostly to themselves. Are you informing Luther about the fact that you are traveling, with the with the Strigany?
Yeah.
If he's still in the back, I'll wave him forward.
Okay. Luther, you see that Cadveo is waving you forward.
I pull my coat around me tighter because it's fucking cold, and I jog forward.
Okay. You eventually, level with the wagon. The drivers do not welcome you to hop on the thing. That said, there is not really much space. Like I've said, the top of the wagon is just cluttered with, with luggage, stuff like that. So there's really nowhere to sit. They've presented themselves to you. One of them is named Sven. The other is Georgi. Yeah, I'm going to roll it. Here. You're just traveling with them. You guess that you have about 2 days left to reach the crags.
Okay.
Are you going to? You're doing anything during the travels? Try to speak with them. Try to, ask them things, or you just continue to walk.
I'm trying to remember the lady's name that we talked to back in.
Mama Raluca?
Well, Mama Raluca was actually in Little Kislev and
No.
Mama Raluca was the one in
Yes.
Helfort?
Yes,
Okay.
Madame Yaga was in Little Kislev. Mama Raluca was was in Sylvania.
Yeah, so Conrad will make maybe some small talk like, oh yeah, we've known a few Strigany in our day. We've met with Mama Raluca. I won't go. You guys all know each other, right?
We never heard of her.
Never heard of her?
Says Sven.
Well, hopefully she's okay. We lost track of her back in Stirland.
Perhaps, says Georgi.
Have you been to Zhidovsk before? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
Zhidovsk? No. We travel towards the Crags of Shargun.
Yeah, that's the first landmark we're supposed to hit on our journey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, it's really nice, having a conversationalist in this party for once. I just love that the fact we ask a question or we make a statement and you guys always give us a response of yes or that's the case or something like that. Y'all are just wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes.
You see, by the way, that they are pretty well armed and armored. They have mail shirts, they have pistols, and swords. Both of them wear clothing dyed in clashing colors. They have coach horns, sacks, and purses, obviously. Yeah, but they are also obviously not very talkative. So, how much intelligence do you have, Luther?
55.
55. Okay.
It's pretty smart.
Yeah,
I think it's smarter than Conrad for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Night comes, and of course, the Strigany stop. They set up camp. By that I mean they just, start a fire. They they set their horses not free, but they remove the reins, stuff like that. They bring some goods from the top of the wagon, and they prepare food. They ask you if you want to join them. Plenty of food for everyone, says one of them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They don't say anything. They just nod.
Sven, Georgie, was it?
Georgi, yes.
Georgie. Sorry, you have to forgive my southern tongue of the empire. I'm trying my best here. Are y'all merchants or like giving in for a swap kind of thing?
No, we are traveling folk. We travel where destiny demands us. Right now we travel towards the Crags.
Gotcha. I'm just wondering, you got the cart and you got a lot of stuff on it. Usually we see a merchant or something. Just thought I'd ask.
We're not
What determines where your destiny is?
We're not merchants. We do what we must. Destiny demands this of us, says Sven. Actually, they are so alike that you sometimes have trouble distinguishing them. You also see that that they are preparing their bedrolls here, around the fire.
How do you know your Elthrai so clearly?
Our what?
Your destiny. That's what my people call it.
We've been informed about it long time ago, and we obey. That's what we do.
Is this a part of your religion?
A part of our culture, more like.
I'll offer up one of my 2 bottles of Ostenmark vodka to the group.
You see that one of
Pass
them got on the wagon, rummaged for something, and then came down with a set of very nice-looking shot glasses. Very, very pretty, very beautifully made. Let's drink to good times, eh? Good times and to clear destiny. And with that, he took the bottle from you, Cadwell, and he poured alcohol into each of the glasses. He handed it to first, of course, to you. Then the last 2 he reserved for himself and his probably brother. You guess. So, zdrowie, he says. Or cheers, as you Imperials used to say.
Yes.
And with that, they've rose their drink and they drank the whole thing with one, in one swig.
I'm gonna smell mine like I'm appreciating the vodka, but I want to see if there's anything weird about the glass.
No, it's a very nice looking glass. You don't smell anything.
Any blood magic on the glass?
Nah.
I drink it.
Okay. They of course volunteered to take watches alongside you. You want to ask them anything else, or you want to go to sleep? And if so, who takes the first watch?
I can take the first watch.
Okay. By the way, there are enough of you. There are 5 of you, so at some point, 2 people can take watch. If that's what you want. But if not, then alright. You take the first watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Who takes the second watch?
I'll take the second watch, but I would like to take the second watch with Sven.
Okay, sure. Sven nods. Very well.
And more or less produce the pair of dice I've had in my pocket since the beginning of this campaign that I have not used yet, and try and play a game with this boy.
Sure, he agrees readily.
All right.
Very well. So you gamble. For how much?
I don't know how much he's got, so I don't want to be like rude on it and put down a gold piece, but I'm going to put down like 3 shillings.
He's like, he agrees. He opens his thin purse and, produces 3 pieces as well.
How are you going to get 1,000 if you're only if you're only gambling shillings? Come on, man.
Conrad, you're asleep. Shut up.
Okay, Luther, roll for gamble. Nice roll.
See, that's how you succeed.
He also failed, so you roll until one of you wins. Once again, roll. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh. You have gambling, by the way?
Yeah.
What stat does it use? Intelligence, right?
Yep.
Okay, you had what? 20 to 32, 42, 50. Okay, yeah, you won.
Very good. And that's how we'll kind of pass our time.
Yeah, I mean, you've played a few times, but, he wasn't willing to play for more than 3 shillings.
That's fair.
Yeah. So your watch passed. You were, of course, looking into the darkness of the oblast, wondering if you see the horrible demon dog, but fortunately, he decided not to show up. And who's taking the Cadveil? Which watch do you take?
I will take the last watch, I guess.
The last watch, okay. You take the last watch alone. Do you do anything?
No.
Okay. So, the dawn comes.
My little cloak thing.
Yeah, sure thing. The dawn comes, and you're on the road once again. Your new companions ride on the wagon, this large, garishly colored wagon, fitted with all sorts of stuff. And as usual, they don't really say anything, neither to each other nor to you.
I'm back with Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
Conrad, these guys are real nice, and I feel real bad about gambling with Sven and taking some money off of him. Just hold on 1 second and don't tell him I pulled this out of my pants. And I'm gonna use Casgran.
You're going to use what?
I'm gonna use the ring.
Oh, okay.
Cheese.
Case another. Okay. Okay, roll. Casagran. Yeah, roll in that case. Nice.
Boom.
You've produced.
I keep praying it's not the other option.
What happens if you fail it?
Not great.
Yeah.
You smell like cheese.
No, I mean you'll see. You'll see when it happens. You'll see.
You've produced a large chunk of fresh cheese. By the way, which cheese? What kind of cheese do you want to produce? Depends cheese. Sorry.
I would like to produce like a large chunk of like something out of Kislev, something some yak milk kind of thing.
Okay. So I guess it's either goat cheese or sheep. Okay, yeah, sheep. Yeah, it's a spicy, salty kind of cheese. Okay, yeah. You
and walk up to the front of the wagon and reach it out. Pass it up to Sven and say thank you for the night of fun, buddy.
Here's some cheese from my pants.
He looked at you. He looked at the cheese. Oh, thank you. He takes the cheese. We will prepare it for the evening meal, eh? We show you how to make a good cheese soup, our specialty.
That'll work, bud. That'll work.
Yeah. So Luther and Conrad, you two were speaking like at the back, right?
Yeah.
So both of you roll me -10 perception tests.
-10?
Yeah.
Ooh.
For some reason, I always can't. There it is.
That is a hot roll.
You want me to roll one?
That is also a hot roll.
No, because Catveo, you didn't told me that you are traveling, behind the wagon. I presume that you are riding alongside the wagon, more like.
Yeah.
Well, Konrad and Luther, when you were talking to each other, about the cheese and how you want to give it to the Strigani,
I want to give it to the Strigani.
you thought, you were not sure, of course, because you weren't listening at the door, but you thought that you were hearing some kind of wet tearing noise and a faint chewing noise coming from the inside of the wagon.
Wet tearing and faint chewing.
They were just making friends with these guys too.
Do you hear that, Luther?
Yeah, by the way, Luther, this conversation continues after you gave them the cheese. So, Luther, you return to Konrad, and Konrad asks you if you've heard that.
I mean, it's probably not the cheese. They said they were going to use that for dinner, so maybe it's dog.
Do I have any kind of... No, I do not have silent move. Anything good like that. I am going to try to walk up closer to the
door.
To the door, and actually, now that I think about it, do I have that? Oh no, I have vision, not hearing. Sorry. Okay.
So you want to approach the door and you want to listen well, right?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to roll, by the way,
Okay.
because you rolled really well. You definitely hear a constant wet tearing noise and a faint chewing noise.
Okay, that is super weird. And they did not sleep inside the.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, where is Cadvale in relation to our group? Yeah.
He's right. I mean, let's say you're on the back of the wagon. You two. He's in front of the wagon alongside the drivers.
And are we? Did you say we were hours away from our destination, or just?
You have probably at least a day.
Okay.
Left.
All right. Damn, it would have been nice to have Battle Tongue right about now.
Buddy, I got Battle Tongue.
Well, I got Battle Tongue too, but Cadvale didn't. Remember, he decided he wanted to learn how to read and write.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Got all fancy.
Well, I've got secret signs, and Cadvale has secret signs.
Well, for secret signs, Cadveo needs to see you. Yeah, secret signs are exactly that, signs. You need to see the sign. Battle Tank, you can just speak. That said, you don't know.
Out of character, you also don't have to tell me right this second. You know?
Well, no, we're not gonna. That's what I'm saying. So I was gonna. I'll speak in hushed battle tongue to Luther at the back, and I'll just say we need to tell Cadwell what we heard, and when we get a chance, when we stop for the evening, maybe figure out what the hell's going on back there. Something's not right.
Do I need to roll to understand that?
Why do you want to roll?
No. Do I need to roll?
No,
to
he expressively said what you've just heard.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they were nice enough to share a camp with us and share food with us, and nothing bad happened during the night. I'm kind of leaning into like letting separation be a thing and not fucking with something just because we can.
Oh, I guess you're right.
I mean, like, let's put it like this, Conrad. That troll fucking hurt me, and yeah, we probably could have fought it and died, but we decided not to. So why keep kicking at a hornet's nest when we really don't need to?
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds like poetry.
It rhymes.
Thank you. My third brother was a poet. He got burned for the poetry he made. By a Sigmarite, by the way.
Praise be to Sigmar.
Fuck you, Conrad.
No, fuck your brother. Anyway. Okay.
While that's not super uncommon, I'm not going to do that.
Well, depending which province we are talking about, right?
I'm talking about Ostland.
Obviously.
Sterling.
Okay. The rest of the day went completely normal. Aside from the fact that, as I mentioned before, the closer you're getting to the cracks, the more strange and esoteric things you spot in the distance, like the black clouds and disturbing, unnatural silhouettes traveling in their shadow. Black coaches, strange large bats flying in the distance, flying towards the direction of the cracks and the village of Zhidovsk. These birds, which by the way you swore that once you saw like a line of birds flying backwards towards the north. The weather also changes, and the land also changes. The weather gets colder and more hostile. The land gets blightier. The grass looks sick. The soil gets muddy. Cadveo, you can feel that Janelle is sometimes struggling to move forward. All of you see that the wagon, the Strigany wagon, is just almost covered in dirt, to the half of its height. Those of you, Conrad and Luther, you two are walking, and your entire trousers, pants are just mucky and soiled. You're getting closer and closer to the Crags of Shargun. The ground slowly rises, the sporadic trees gather into clumps, forming copses and eventually small woods. The mix of conifers, that's the word? Conifers?
There you go.
Conifers, yeah.
Makes the sweet smell of pine sap hang heavy in the air. And through the trees, you can see the grain stone of the cracks stabbing up like spear tips at the leaden sky. And as you travel, you eventually come across a narrow trail cutting through the trees and wending its way toward the peaks. You also think that you can smell wood smoke coming from the north, but maybe it's just your imagination. You still have one last night to sleep in the oblast, on the oblast, before reaching your destination. And at night, Conrad, you want to talk to Cadveo, right?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Okay. Sven and Georgi are preparing the meal. They are true to their word. They are preparing the cheese soup. They've also, brought rations from their own stash, cured rabbit meat, venison, dark bread, stuff like that, some dried vegetables. Actually, their food is better than what you have.
Luther is very interested in what's going on at the fire and is helping out if he can.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, of course. They don't really need your help, but they appreciate you being there all the same. Although they do all the stuff themselves. They add some they add some dry herbs. Georgi poured some vodka from their own stash into the pot. He says that it helps with the taste. Meanwhile, Conrad, you speak to Cadveo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, Cadveo, I think as we're getting closer to our destination, maybe we need to get away from these guys. They're something not right about their about what's going on inside their wagon. But Luther and I feel like it's probably better to just stay on good terms with them and separate when we can.
When do you want to separate?
Well, I mean, as long as they're going in the same direction with us, but maybe if we see like we're getting, we didn't get the sense they were going to Zhidovsk, did we?
You've consulted the map, and by the way, the Strigani told you that they are going to this village. You are on the right. You are on the right path, and yeah, you are traveling there with them.
Okay. Well, then I don't know.
How about this? If you want to go a different direction with it, or if you think something's going south, suggest that I go investigate where the burning wood smell was coming from in the north, and then I'll sneak off and find a vantage point to cover you guys.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Are you telling this to Luther?
Yeah, I'll when I
I'll
get a
let
chance.
Conrad handle that.
Yeah, when I get a chance.
Okay.
It's like a game. It's like a game of phone tag or whatever the hell that game is called. Luther, come over here for a second.
but they're making good food.
It will be ready in a few minutes, says one of the Strigani.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll be right back.
So I say, hey. So I told Cadvale about what's going on with the thing, and he says that if we think we see something going south, we're to tell him to go search for the smell of wood smoke in the woods to the north, and that's the signal for him to.
But aren't we already going north? Why would we go south?
No, we wouldn't go south at all. He's just gonna make himself, go out and hide in the woods and then spy on the guys.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was an innuendo, wasn't it? You meant if something's going bad.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha. I don't think anything's going bad here.
Yeah, hopefully not.
I mean, we're probably all right. Well, the last time we dealt with Strigany was what? Werewolves?
No, there weren't any Strigany there. It was at Helfert.
Well, I mean, the Strigani in the village of Dunkelbild cursed the Baron and his brother. So yeah, in Sylvania, the Strigani served Lydia von Karstein.
Right.
But Conrad, I mean, honestly, if it's just one werewolf, you saw me at the river. Fuck it, I can take that thing out in the blink of an eye.
I'm not sure I saw that, but okay.
No, you didn't saw that because you've run into opposite direction. By the way, Cadveo, roll me -10 perception.
Okay.
Nice. When you were speaking with Conrad, you thought that you heard some strange, wet, tearing sounds from behind the door leading to the wagon.
I slowly turn my head to look at it so Conrad sees that I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Conrad just kind of shrugs like, told you so. Like, not creepy at all.
It's like this. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, kind of.
Maybe they've kidnapped someone, or they're. I don't know.
If they kidnap someone, I mean, they're eating them kind of slow.
Well, they're not eating them because they're at the fireplace.
Chewing with. Huh.
Chewing and tearing sounds. It actually reminds you, Cadvale, of wild feral animals in your forest when they've caught their prey. These are the similar sounds.
I'm gonna go back to the fire.
Yeah. Food is ready, says one of the
Sit down
Strigani.
and produce my dinner set.
Hmm?
My bowl.
What about you, Conrad, and you, Cadveo?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and eat.
Okay. Cadveo?
I kind of feel like before we get too settled, I should investigate the burning wood smell coming from the north.
Remember that it is night right now. It is dark.
Okay.
You do not
Maybe
want
not
to
then.
be... I mean, all of you guys, you would probably have to pass willpower tests to venture alone into the Oblast after dark. Because this is seriously terrifying. Yeah. So, you approach the fireplace. You sit with the Strigani. They tell you, goulash is ready, eh? And here's the cheese soup that we were talking about. Cadvale, you still have the good Ostermark vodka.
I have a little bit left.
Give it to everyone here, eh? Then we'll drink some good stuff from the wagon, eh?
Sure. I present the bottle.
Yeah. Once again, one of them, presented the small, very nicely made shot glasses, poured a large measure of alcohol into each of them, and gave said glasses to each of you. To destiny, may it ever be, cheers, may it ever be in our favor. And they've raised their glasses to you, and they've drunk vodka, and then began to eat their stuff. The food is actually very good. It is honestly practically better than what you had in Beckhafen right before leaving for Kislev. In Beckhafen, food was pretty basic because of the war shortages and the fact that the city was besieged at some point. This Strigani made fare is actually very tasty. Konrad and Cadveo, you remember, the food that was given to you by Mama Raluca's clan. It tastes similarly. Tastes wholesome. The Strigani, as usual, don't say anything. You want to speak, or are you just eating and then take your watches?
Eat and then ask them, what about that good stuff from the wagon?
Oh, yes, Georgi, get the drink, eh? Says Sven. Georgi,
I can help him.
No, it's all right. It's on the top of the wagon, eh?
Okay.
He goes to the top of the wagon and begins to rummaging through through his belongings. We keep all other food on top. At the back of the wagon, there are our living quarters.
But you guys sleep outside.
Yes, because the weather is good.
It's really cold.
It's subjective, eh?
I guess. I mean, yeah, whatever.
If you want to sleep inside, be our guest. He shrugs his shoulders.
I give Conrad a look.
Sven, Conrad, Cadvale, hold up. Sven, Georgie, I'm dancing around the subject. I keep hearing some wet tearing sounds and chewing from the wagon, and honestly, with all the shit we've seen out here, it fucking terrifies me. What's going on?
I'm gonna go investigate the smoke.
Sven looks at you. I don't understand what you are talking about.
Can I try to charm?
No.
Okay. That's fair.
This stew is amazing. Cheese and stew with rabbit.
Conrad just thinks to himself, at least for once, I'm not the one fucking things up.
There are no sounds coming from inside. Me and my brother, we are driving the cart all day. You would think that we would hear anything, eh? The wall of the wagon is right behind our backs. We would hear everything that is inside, eh?
You know what? You're probably right. It's
Yeah.
we've seen some stuff out here on the Oblast that we're just not used to.
I mean, if you want, you can take a peek inside.
Do you mind just to settle my nerves? We ran into a troll out of nowhere, and that scared the hell out of us. If it's all right with you, just to settle my nerves.
Of course, just remember that if you take a peek inside, there might be consequences. I think I should tell you this right now, because every decision in our lives has consequences, eh?
You know what? You're right. You guys have been just so great to us. I'm gonna trust you on this, and I'm not gonna push this. And in fact, you've been so great that I'm gonna give you your 3 silver that I won from you back.
Oh, that is very generous of you. Thank you very much.
And I'm going to settle in and finish my soup, and I'm not sleeping tonight.
Okay. You gave the man his 3 silver back, right?
Yep.
Okay. Georgi returned from the wagon with the bottle of this strong liquor. They've also, they've poured a generous measure to each of the rather large shot glasses, and they gave them to you. To your health.
What?
To your, oh my god. You want to lose luck?
And he gets drunk and he accidentally opens the.
I'm gonna go look in this thing after.
Is this the outhouse?
No, it's time to use the.
It's time to use the table.
Yes, it's time to use the stinking drunk table.
I specifically doubled down on this so this wouldn't happen. Damn it.
Okay. What happens is this. You are drinking with the Strigany. I don't know, of course, Conrad and Cadveo, how much do you drink? It's up to you. This stuff, by the way, is prickly. It is quite strong. You don't think that it is imperial liquor. It smells and tastes rather strange. It smells herbal and tastes rather bitter.
I'm drinking Strigany Jägermeister.
Yeah, Jaeger bombs for everyone.
Being absent. Jesus.
Bro!
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's like this bitter herbal liquor, but it does taste good. That's the thing. It's no poor man's alcohol. So Cadveo and Conrad, I would like for you to tell me how much do you drink, if you want to just get yourselves hammered or not.
Conrad will just take the one shot glass offered,
okay.
and then because he wants to be able to stay awake and do his shift tonight.
I understand. Cadveo, what about you?
I'm going to sip at it, but when nobody's looking, I want to pour the rest out. Like I just want to share, like I'm really appreciating this drink and taking my time with it.
Okay. So I would like for you to roll me agility if you want to do this.
Okay.
If you want to do this unchecked, unnoticed. Whoa! Barely.
Apparently.
You've barely. I mean, you've sipped. You've took a few sips of this drink, and then you've poured the rest out, almost getting caught. You guys saw that Luther is in trouble. He took a huge swig of this thing, and he's like, good stuff. Luther, you feel that the alcohol is getting to your head, but it also activates a part of your psyche, the courageous part, or rather the foul-mouthed part.
Oh fuck! I mean, like I'm already pretty bad, but
Actually, wait. Sorry, I wrote 75 for you. Oh no, sorry. So in that case, it's better. Yeah, you are pretty bad. And now just let me roll for the. Okay, good for you. It's only 5 hours. you've drunk a bit. Then you've also, you've asked for more. Conrad and Cadwell, you see that, Luther is is getting hammered. After he finished the second dose, helping of this strange liquor, he got up on shaking legs. He was like, "Excuse me," and he vomited. Essentially, he puked. Everything that he ate, everything that he drank, he returned in this wide, long stream of vomit, and then he fell to the
I
ground.
started laughing.
Yeah, and then he fell to the.
But before I fall down, that's called give him back to tall, and then pass out.
Yeah, and then he falls to the ground, completely unconscious. Georgi and Sven look at him, look at each other. They just shake their heads.
He's from Sterling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see that he's laying on the ground, on a very cold ground, shivering.
Yeah, I would like to add that the alcohol wasn't properly warmed up.
Yeah. What are you going to do about this, Conrad and Cadwell?
So he's covered in puke.
Yeah.
And he's lying on the ground. Does he have a bedroll or a blanket?
I've got a blanket in my pack, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Conrad will rummage around in his pack and put a blanket over him, over in the puke.
Remember, guys, that you have the large tent.
Yeah, he's not coming in the tent.
Just leave me by the fire.
Okay, so you are now, just so you know, if you are going to leave him outside the tent, even by the fire, he will roll for toughness. Because this is a Kislevite northern steppe.
Yeah, it's like survival.
If you want to die from cold, that's a very good way to do so. Congratulations, you have a pneumonia right now.
Fuck me.
That said, unless
I wouldn't leave him out. I'm like,
yeah, we
if
can't.
Conrad
If
intends to leave him
we
out,
if we know he's gonna die out there, we won't leave him.
there's a big chance that pneumonia was a joke, Luther, but you would have a -5 to all of your stats for probably 2d10 days, because you would catch a nasty case. Yeah.
That's a really short stint of pneumonia. I have had pneumonia, and it lasted like 6 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
I've had it twice. I had walking pneumonia one time. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So if your friends want to bring you in, then you of course won't have to roll for that. But
That's all up to my friends.
Yeah.
So check that. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to find something that we can wipe him off. Try to wipe the worst of
this
the
tree only
spew
produce a big piece of cloth for you.
off. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sort of wipe it off him and then cram him in the tent.
Yeah. You cram him in the tent, and those of you, of course, who sleep with him while the other person has, watch, remember that, he could be even covered in vomit. It's not the worst thing. He just stinks. He stinks either way, even without the puke on him. And he snores just like, just like a real drunk. After he just discharged everything he had in his stomach. Who takes the first watch?
Unless somebody else wants to do it, I'll do it again.
Okay. Sponge bath my puke mess, Daddy Conrad. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Does Conrad communicate he's not actually going to sleep?
No, Luther wasn't sleeping.
No, Luther was the one who was like, "Fuck that, I'm not sleeping," and then he vomited and passed out. For the best.
By the way, Luther, you are out for 5 hours.
That's fine. You know what? Probably the best sleep I've had in a long time.
I don't know.
You're taking last watch.
I don't know if getting alcohol sick on Kislev Oblast is best sleep, but sure.
I've never blacked out. That's the thing. I don't know what the hell this would feel like.
Okay. It's not pretty. I had it once. That wasn't cool. But Conrad, you take the first watch, right?
Yes.
Are you doing anything during the watch?
Just watching for anybody coming to kill us in our sleep.
Okay. Sven and Georgie sleep in their bedrolls right next to the fire.
Okay.
Yeah. And they are also covered in blankets. So if any smartass will tell me, oh, but they should roll for pneumonia, then I'm going to tell you that that's not how it works. Okay, roll me perception, -20, Conrad.
Alright.
You don't have to worry about botches, by the way.
Okay. Why is perception always hidden? It says it's rolling the dice, but
Yeah.
there we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
nope.
Nothing, sure. Who's taking the second watch? By the
I
way,
will take second watch.
Luther won't be able to take watch today.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Not after getting alcohol poisoned and having 5 hours of sleep on the frozen Kislev ground. It's impossible.
I will take second watch, but I will pretend to sleep. Third
Okay.
watch, so
Okay. Roll me perception -10, Cadvale.
Perception minus. Glad I upgraded this today.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my percent? Oh, there it is.
You the watch, your watch like comes and goes. There are no problems at all, but the strange sounds coming from the wagon seriously creep you out. You hear this tearing and biting and eating sounds, and they are just strange. Yeah, but your watch ends, and then the Strigani take their watches. Then eventually new day comes. The sun rises weakly over the horizon. Cadvale and Conrad, you wake up to the stench of Luther, who's like, babbling something. And just he stinks even worse now. It's not only his bodily stench; it's also the stench coming from his mouth. The digested alcohol that he expelled last night. Conrad, he inadvertently, breathed the alcohol in your face, and it was just magical. the still under special they call it. Yeah. Luther, you wake up. Everything is blurry. Your head pounds horribly. For this whole day, you have -5 to all statistics. Only for this day, just so you know. And you're like, water. Yeah, Brunswick is true. Okay, so you hear that the Strigani are preparing to leave, but they are also preparing breakfast. You emerge.
Yeah.
Sven and Georgie, who look just as grim and serious as they look the first time that you met them. One of them is preparing the wagon, checking the horses and the reins. The other is making a huge portion of scrambled eggs on a large iron pan. Oh, you're up. The breakfast is almost ready, eh?
Boys, that was good booze, but I'm gonna have to pass on any more of that.
No, don't worry. We we won't be drinking. We won't be drinking it today. I mean, at least not for the breakfast. We'll prepare some kind of. We'll prepare some herbs for you. We should reach Zhidovsk this day. At least we think so. You hungry?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Cadwell, Conrad?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
You all sit around the fire. The Strigani, they give each of you a huge portion of this really large scrambled egg dish. It's delicious. It's really fulfilling. They've also prepared a small a small iron pot full of this herbal drink, which, by the way, Luther, when you've drank it, you feel a lot better. Like, you still have the minuses, but your head is not pounding so hard, and you feel that you can actually hold your meal that you've just ate.
Good.
So I guess they they don't teach you how to drink in Stirland, eh? Says Sven with this sly smile.
They teach us how to drink until we do what we did last night. That's about it. If you ever come south, we'll treat you to a nice hot beer.
No. Yes, we had a chance to taste it. We actually went to Stirland a few times, says Georgi. A very nice province, and although not very friendly to our folk. They thought that we are vampire worshippers, if you can believe that.
I've seen weirder shit. It's all right. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We are being used to the prejudice. It's just you stay long enough on the road, you get used to all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I'll scrape the pan and we can move on. And with that, they begin to prepare themselves to travel. And I guess you guys prepare yourselves to travel as well.
Yep.
Okay. So, you move ever onwards. And you're now in the shadows of the crags. You can see them very well through the trees. They are massive, dark and foreboding. And the forests to both sides. Even though Cadveo, you are glad to see them, there is something strange about them. You don't feel completely safe in their shadows. It's as this place, it's not right. It's not right at all. But once again, you smell wood smoke, and this time you also smell something else. Even though you had a large breakfast, you smell the mouth-watering scent of cooking meat. You know that you are getting closer. You head up the road, and you eventually stumble upon a small community, built around probably the only road in these mountains. Pine trees ring the village, blocking it from view, though tendrils of smoke rise from stone chimneys. The structures are all simple, wooden, and roofed with thatching. There are paths through the dozen or so houses and shops, but they are covered in snow even at this time of year. And where no snow is present, the paths are muddy from recent traffic. This would be an otherwise sleepy village, but clearly its road is choked with travelers. People from all over the old world are here, huddled together for warmth, seated near the stone chimneys, finishing off the last of their stores. Walking through the crowds are bold men draped in vestments proclaiming their allegiance to the child. They stop to offer words of encouragement, prayers to young Karl for his return, and offer what meager food they have to share. If this wasn't enough, at the far end of the village, where the road ends at a tiny hovel, 9 black carriages stand in a perfect row. Black steeds, still in their harnesses, are frozen as if carved from obsidian. No steam issues from their nostrils, nothing to suggest these creatures are alive. And finally there are the villagers. They peer out from their doors, looking out into the crowds with wonder. A few shoot trespassers from their property, whilst others cart the dead into the woods for the wolves. The village positively hums with muttered conversation, wails of the suffering, and disturbing sounds of the dying. It is a vision of doom, true madness, to behold.
Just like home.
Yeah, sounds like the promised land.
Yes. Now, I quickly need to go to the bathroom. Just a few seconds. My question is, how much time do we have left today?
I'm good on time. I don't know about everybody else.
I can probably do for another what is it? Another 20-30 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm good for like 20 minutes.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So don't go anywhere. I'm right back.
Okay.
Boys, sorry about getting so drunk.
It happens to the best of us.
I'm still curious.
It does happen to the best of us. And I am the best of us.
I'm still curious. What's in this wagon after they made that vampire joke?
I'm not.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like some kind of fucking ghoul or something.
I don't know. If you're gonna open it during the day.
Yeah, there you go.
Like with all the Crusaders around.
Yeah. Well, that's just it, though. It sounds like it's a bunch of freaking vampire carriages. There's all these black carriages with
God,
with horses that don't have any steam coming from their nostrils. Right? Didn't he say 9? And isn't that if we go back? Oh shit! Now I gotta open up the freaking handouts.
Oh, is there 10? Oh no! Maybe we should have.
Yeah. Because let's see, if we go back to the Troy Journal. Who was in life is 3 stages of existence, 6 bloodlines, 8 winds of magic. Yeah, well, I don't see any. I thought there was a reference to something about 9, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, this would be 10 if this is like the 10th. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're transporting a vampire or something.
Well, it just in the so for Detroit, it just says Carl is the secret to my 4th and final transformation. At last, the triptych's code is revealed, and I will rule the age of 1,000 thrones. Remember, that's the psycho vampire dude that essentially destroyed the crusade. Oh man, they got the freaking AC on in the house here. It's freaking freezing me. I wonder what that's in. It's been. Oh yeah, it's not that warm. I don't understand. But somebody was hot, so they turned on the AC, and now I feel like I need a sweater.
Man, it's been weird. Like we've had last week, it got up to like 85 one day.
Yeah. And
last night it was like 32.
Oh Jesus!
Man, it's fucking weird, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had there was a storm that came through. I guess not last week, but the week before last, where like we had like one day it's 89, the next day it's like 50. Like Jesus.
How cold does it get at night though?
It gets like lately it's been getting into the 40s. Let me see what the low was today.
I'm back.
In like dead winter, it's around like 20. In dead summer, it's like night doesn't really change the temperature. It's just not humid anymore.
Okay. Yeah, but well, that's the problem. Problem with Phoenix has gotten to the point where it like it gets over 100 during the day in the summer, and then it doesn't really cool off. It gets to like maybe under 100, 95 at night.
Wow.
Because it's because now with the urban sprawl, it's just a big giant heat sink. So all the concrete just radiates the heat back all night, so it never really cools off that much.
You must enjoy living in hell because you still live there.
This is the longest I've lived any place now.
The only like desert environment I've been to is like Aruba, but like it's breezy. It's like 98 all year, but it's breezy, so it's like.
Yeah.
Like Mojave, when I was in Santa Fe, that was nice and cool during the day, but if you went down off the plateau, it sucked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is in Phoenix. All right. So a bunch of vampire carriages outside the outside the hut.
Conrad and Cadveo, you know that what you are seeing is the remnants of the Crusade of the Child. Probably drawn by his nature, they have no choice but to walk the path he has trod. And rather than coming as a group, people have been drifting to the village for weeks, probably months even. They come here and go no further, awaiting the blessed moment when Carl returns to them. So that's what you see. Sven and Georgi, they just nod their heads to you, presented the brims of their hats, touched the brims of their hats. Safe travels to you all, travelers, they say.
You, friends.
And then they just ride forwards. People are getting out of the way of their wagon, and they ride towards the carriages at the end.
And don't make us regret not looking in that wagon.
They don't say anything to that. But you see with some alarm that they are riding towards the parked coaches at the end of the village. And I will upload the map of the village next time for next game, because there will be a few things that I'll have to do with it.
As we battle 9 vampires, because
Yeah.
10, sure.
Yeah. Okay, let me just quickly see. This. Oh, Jesus, what is it? Yeah. As you wander into the town, the first thing you see is a large, burly youth with a vicious look about him, carrying 2 sloshing buckets of water on a stick. He seems to hate this duty, but not as much as he despises the horridly ugly dog that follows him. It is pitch black, seems incredibly dirty and sticky, and its hair is matted with something shiny, perhaps ice? Regardless, it trails the water-bearing youth with eager tenacity, running ahead of him, barking, jumping at the buckets, and trailing along behind again. Strangely, the youth does not yell at or knock away the dog, nor does he step out of its way. Rather, he keeps his eyes glued to the sky, as if pretending the dog is not there. Finally, the youths and your paths intersect. The dog makes a mighty leap, dislodging one of the buckets, and forcing the youth to spin about, losing his load into a cascade of water that douses him, the dog, and Conrad and Luther. Roll me agility.
No.
Okay, Conrad, roll me agility. And douses Luther completely. Yet, even with this most egregious of offenses, he does not utter a word or lift a hand against the dog. As it laps up the water, now sipping into the mud of the dirt path, he merely sighs, lifts up the stick and buckets, and begins to retrace his steps back, probably to the river. He completely ignores you. He's not even, he's not apologizing for dousing you with water or anything. He just, goes away. What are you guys doing?
That's weird. I said, hey, is he a boy, a man?
He's a young man.
Hey, young man, is there an inn in this town?
He
This village?
He just grunts and nods toward the village square, and then goes away.
I get down off my horse.
Okay. Yeah. So, so that's that. What do you do?
I guess I lead my horse into town looking for.
Head for the town square.
You head for the town square. Very well. As I've told you before, as I've told you before, the yeah, the village normally would probably be home to about, you guess, 50 souls, maybe something, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. You're under normal circumstances. You guess that a village like this sees regular traffic from trappers and farriers, the occasional prospector, and probably rarely travelers. But right now, it is packed to the brim with refugees. Konrad and Kadveo, you of course recognize. I mean, you don't recognize these people per se, but you do know who they are. These are the last dregs of the once great and mighty crusade of the child. And no one cares or seems to notice you. After all, you're just a few more wanderers dropping in for a place to sit, that has become commonplace. As you walk towards the square, you got a few grunts and nods, but the Lost Crusaders leave you alone. They don't, acknowledge you. They don't even recognize you, even though both of you were people of prominence in the crusade at Wolfenburg.
Right.
But you also see that probably most of these crusaders are not long for this world. You clearly see that many of them are sick. All of them are malnourished and starving. Many of them probably are dying. And they look like they're literally at the end of the road. Zhidovsk itself sits at the end of the probably only road into the Crags of Shargun, and it is little more than a muddy path. It's just wide enough for two wagons to pass by one another. To the west looms a dense forest of pines, cedars, and firs, and the east ascends to a spur of dark rock the locals know, Georgi and Sven told you this, as the Feast of Kurshod, named for an infamous giant said to be struck down by Thor himself in a titanic battle some 1,000 years ago. Thor is the Kislev god of lightning. The crags tower to the north, snow blanketing the peaks and harboring who knows what. Again, Sven and Georgi during one night told you that it is said that a great evil lives in the crags. It is supposedly a legend holds a banshee haunts the peaks, emerging by night to drink the blood of the living. As the road climbs towards the village, the rocks and occasional tree give way to small wooden houses with slate roofs. The smoke of burning pine issues from thin stone chimneys, shrouding the community with a blue haze. Further along, the houses are closer together, as if huddling together for warmth. At the end of the road are about a dozen buildings facing the road. There are a few paths between the structures, but they are choked with snow and ice and people. And the village is overrun with crusaders and other folk, clogging the streets and alleys, leaving a bewildered populace to pick their way through the gathered mess. There's not much here worth mentioning. Most of the buildings are the abodes of ragged families hardened by scarce supplies and the oppressive chill. Yeah, so that's that. What are you guys going to do? As you venture the road, you see that many crusaders look very hungrily at the horse of Kadveo.
I carry my bow in my hand. With
okay.
The rope for the horse in one hand and the bow in the other.
Well, most of those people are too weak to probably even defend themselves, but nonetheless, they look at your animal with this hunger in their eyes.
So what Conrad wants to do is find some kind of inn or tavern. I want to, do some gossiping, try to figure out what's going on here, or I get the sense that all these other people are too bedraggled to carry on a conversation.
Okay. Kadveo and Luther, what about you?
I lean over to Cadvale and just be like, Cadvale, don't take it too high and mighty on that. I've thought about eating your horse at least 3 or 4 times since I've been with y'all's party, but I just never got the chance to get a good cut off.
I would have stapled you to the ground with arrows and cut your balls off.
Yeah, but you'd still be down a horse.
I pat my horse on the head.
I pat his horse on the head as well and say, "You look tasty."
Slap his hand away.
Yeah, so that's that. You eventually reach the square. Between the boarding house. Actually, you would know this probably. Yeah, I can actually upload the map right away. Okay, the square. The square is, of course, in the middle of the village. Well, it's nothing like a square, having never had 4 right angles. It is simply the empty space between buildings that surrounds a large well. There have been a few half-hearted efforts to cobble this area, and a few remaining stones pick up through the mud as a testimony to the villagers' good intentions. Normally this place is empty, aside from the occasional matron going to the well to fetch a pail of water, but since people have begun to arrive, this place is easily the most crowded in the village. Nearly every square foot of this area holds a body, and narrow pathways choked with debris and filth weave through the huddled, suffering people. Moving amongst the people are the outspoken self-appointed leaders who invoke the will of the crusade, preaching how Carol will return and that the moment of their salvation is upon them. Each day, though, more people succumb to the unforgiving cold, nagging hunger, and strange illnesses, despite the smoky fires and the meager supplies portioned out to the masses. Corpses lay untended, left where they died, and there are whispers, even as you know, for dramatic sake, and there are whispers some desperate men have begun to harvest the flesh of the dead. You guess that since their arrival, few locals come here, and if they do, they skirt the edge of the place to reach what you guess is the village's only tavern to the northwest. You see it clearly. Most, though, don't think a mug of kvass is worth the trouble of the crowd. This place really looks horrible. But, as I've said before, you spot a tavern.
Okay. Let's go inside.
Okay.
Is there a stable attached?
No.
Okay. Do you guys want to go inside and find out what's going on?
I'm not feeling like ever having a drink again, and that probably will pass in a couple of days' time. But if you want to go in, I'll stay outside with the horse. I promise. I promise I won't eat it.
I wink at you. I said, remember my promise too.
That's fair. As he's walking inside, I'm going to stick my tongue out and lean in towards the horse.
Oh, God.
I'm watching until I go inside.
Okay. Now, you approach the tavern. You also, skim the edges of the square because, like I've said, the bodies are just so close to each other, and there are so many of them that you would not be able to, just ride or go past through them. You would trample these people. Standing amidst the densest cluster of buildings at the center of the village is the tavern. It looks strange. Well, I mean, first of all, it is of newer construction. It scarcely shows any sign of age. It is constructed from treated pine wood on a black stone foundation. It has peaked roof covered in sod. A crooked chimney peeks over the roof from behind the structure, and you guess it smokes year-round, sending up tendrils from the cook fires inside. The main entrance to this place is through a single door over a stone slab that serves as a porch. A sign depicting a horned man with a wolf suckling on his breast hangs above the door. Actually, when you approach this place, Kadveo, you hear the sound of horses from behind the back.
Okay, so there might be a stable in the
Yeah,
back.
on the back, yeah. You-
I turn around and tell Luther.
Okay, so...
Are we inside now? Am I still walking in, or?
No, I mean, you are right now approaching this place, all of you.
Uh-huh.
So, my question is, Kadveo, are you taking your horse to the back?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Conrad and Luther, I guess you entered the door. Through
Yep.
the door. Just inside the door, you find a white hall with a high ceiling that towers overhead, except for an area towards the back that probably serves as owner's abode. It is, there's not even a door. There's just this huge piece of cloth, like what's the word? Jesus.
Curtain.
Curtain. I mean, I know, but it's like there's a curtain between the main hall and the private quarters. Tables and benches are arranged in rows, and the floor is a muddy mess of old hay, spilled fluid, and unidentifiable lumps. A hearth with a spit sits against the back wall, and a spit boy can be found turning probably any kind of meat over the fire. Right now, you think that a goat is roasting over the flames, and the smell of it is seriously mouth-watering. You see that a man tends to the bar, which is a pile of stones in front, a stack of banked casks tipped onto their sides. You guess that under normal circumstances, this tavern would cater to the locals and a few trappers who make their living in these peaks, and therefore it would be sparsely populated. However, thanks to the squatters who have claimed the town as their tomb, or as the sign of their revelation, or as the staging ground for the great fulfillment of their prophecy, this place is a bit busier than normal. When you've entered, of course, all eyes turn to you. You see that people who are here are the villagers. It's clear. There are no Crusaders here, you guess. Maybe a few of them are, but like 90% of the people here are villagers, Kislev villagers. Rough-looking men and women in heavy-set clothes with furs. They all sit wearing thick woolen caps or fur caps, and they don't look really friendly. That's the thing. Some of them either pierce with their watery ale or chunks of meat, but most of them just speak quietly to each other. The man staying behind the bar he would normally probably be rather friendly, but he has a hard-set face, hard eyes, and and he looks like he would probably want to be somewhere else. You approach the man?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You approach the man. He says,
Yeah.
you see that he eyes you greedily yet suspiciously. You have to pay even before sitting. You want to sit? You want to eat something? Drink?
Yeah. Yes, for myself and my friends here.
How many? How many food do you? How much food do you want? How many drinks?
There's 3 of us.
I see. Very well. So he says to you that it will take about 15 pennies for all of you to eat and drink.
Okay.
And he just extends his hand for the payment. It's clear that,
Okay. I give him 15 pennies.
He hurriedly takes your money, hides it behind the bar, and returns with weak ale, stale bread, and strips of greasy flesh from the spitted animal. He approached the spit with the wooden plates. Used a large butcher knife to just cut few strips, put them on your plates, and returned with them. Here, your food.
Sounds good. Do you have any rooms?
No, we have no rooms here. You can go to Old Katievid.
Okay.
It is across the street.
Okay.
It is a what's the word? It is a boarding house.
Okay.
Run by Helga
Right.
Yevit. Sorry. Yeah.
Yevid. Okay. How long have the black coaches been here?
You can ask around here if you want, and when you've asked the question, you see that he quickly flashed his eyes towards one corner of the inn with fright, and then he returned the eyes to you, the stare to
Okay.
you. You look.
Yeah.
You see the man sitting in the corner. He is very handsome. He has long dark hair. He is dressed immaculately in a slightly out of fashion way. He sits in the corner nursing a small cup of something you don't know, I guess probably vodka, although you were given very watered down and weak ale and not smelling very good. You also see that this man is not only incredibly pale, he also doesn't exhale steam.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at you with this nonchalant, slightly amused look on his face. When he saw that you are looking at him, Conrad, he raised his cup to you in this, in a slight salute.
Uh-huh. I raise my mug back to him.
You can ask around here or outside, but be wary. Those people, and he says that in a hushed tone, they've brought sickness with them.
Yeah. How long have they been here?
I have a lot of work to do. I'm sorry. And he begins to just furiously, clean the counter.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you guys, but I probably need to wrap it up.
Yes,
here.
we are
Stuff.
ending right now. Just so you know, Cadveo, you came behind the place, and there you found not so friendly, but still, well, helpful, so to speak, stable boy. He introduced himself as Renko, and the man behind the bar, by the way, is named Jans. He took the horse, Cadveo, and he told you that for a day it will cost you 8 pennies, 12 if you want your horse to eat.
Can we do 3 days with food?
Yeah, sure. So 3 days, 36.
36 pennies.
Yeah.
That's...
You saw that aside from your horse, there's like one other. The stables are small, but even so, there are just like with Janelle, there are just 2 animals here. Yeah. You see that the boy also tries to look defiant and tough. He holds when you approached him, he held a pitchfork, in a defensive way. But when he saw that you clearly mean business, he quickly relented. And you guess that he probably uses the pitchfork to to prod away locals who appear to be ill, or maybe any crusade members who are weak and malnourished enough to be discouraged without a fight. but since you have serious weaponry and the appearance of coin, and you seem healthy, he let you in the stables with a sullen and fearful grunt. And that's it. Okay, so to speed things up, since Sean, you have to wrap up, for today's game, everyone gets 110 points.
110?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's more than fair. 110 points. And let's think about our next game day, 4th of April, perhaps?
Sure.
Because it's 2 weeks from now.
So, why is it doing that? That's why. I don't. That's Easter Sunday.
It is?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
So.
Okay, in that case, let's switch. Let's switch.
Really?
You know what?
I'm not a Christian. It's been a long time, but that's a 4-day weekend for me. Thank you.
There you go.
Notes are up right now.
Okay. So, guys, in that case, are we going for 11th, or are we going for some day earlier or later? Remember, we can play, on Saturday or on Friday. That's the case. Like, I'm flexible. It's up to you.
I can do it Saturday.
I could do it Saturday. Oh, okay. Oh, you mean Saturday? I can't do it Saturday the 3rd.
Okay. So that's out of the way. So which dates are good for you, Sean?
I could do the 11th.
Okay, we can. In that case, we can go for 11th.
Okay.
If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's
I think so.
3 weeks from now.
Yeah, 3 weeks from now. So we'll play next time on 11th of April.
Yeah.
Very well. Cool. So I'll see you then. Take care, guys. And
Yep.
Cool.
There will be, like I said, I will upload the map on Roll20 and of the village, and yeah, that's that. See you later. Bye.
Later.
Right.
Cool.
Later. Thanks, guys.